And to me, it's nauseating. It's absolutely nauseating because
multiple mental health clinicians said that Derek had limited intellectual ability and was not capable of consenting.
Congratulations.
Boom. Right? Change soccer in America forever.
Hella bugs out here. Yeah, bro, I got keep caressing my leg, boy. Trying to get freaky out here.
Your step siblings and also husband and wife.
Yeah, I can't do any of that stuff.
That's right. Yeah, in fact, soccer can crawl up my asshole and die for all I care.
And that's what the kids do, but I'm a little older. I like that shirt tucked in.
Who the hell told you that would not be seen on television?
Anal sex is the process of inserting a penis into the anus of another partner.
Oh, shit. I really wonder if that lady has experienced that before. That thing she's talking about there. Anyhow,
one of a guy talking about a pregnancy, you're gonna feel a bit of pressure down there.
She's being very technical about what the act is. I don't know. Anyhow, does it matter? Probably not.
How technical does that? You have to describe that act.
I know it says what it is. I don't get it. All right, welcome to Straight Red Card. It is Labor Day. Happy Labor Day to everybody out there. Make sure you like, subscribe, share it with your grandma, and lean over and give your stepsister a peck on the cheek. We are here to cover many things, including the roster that was announced, this really weird ass post by US Soccer, and many other things tonight. But I should start off by saying that Alexi had Landon Donovan on his show today, and I quote, he said, I really think that when they were doing the coach search, you should have gotten an interview.
Wait, Lexi said that about Donovan?
Yes, to Donovan. I really think that when they were hiring a new coach for U.S. Soccer, you should have been interviewed. This is the problem, Alexi, sometimes with believability. This guy has coached a USL team briefly. Now he's coaching a women's team. I don't think there's much to go on there as far as like precedent or context to really figure out what kind of coach he would be.
Well, I mean, we push back against a lot of the MLS names that get thrown out there. Why would we pause? I mean, obviously he's got name recognition. But aside from that, what does he have?
I know they're friends and all that, but listen, I don't walk around here saying, you know what, Brett, you should have been nominated for president of the United States. Like, I'm not out here sucking your cock right in front of everybody, because I think that you don't do that to friends. It's kind of, in a way, a little like embarrassing. It has to be a little embarrassing for Donovan. And then he asked him, would you ever consider coaching the U.S. men's national team? You're not going to say no. Of course he wants to. He wants to, but that doesn't mean he's not even in the inside crowd at MLS sphere and U.S. soccer sphere. He's not even an insider. He's an outsider.
Shouldn't really even be an inside crowd between U.S. soccer and MLS, but whatever.
Well, there shouldn't be, but regardless, you do need to suck some cock before getting that job, unless your name's Pochettino or some other higher power. Bigger name, right? That's how that kind of works. Just ask Jermaine Jones, okay? Turn in the background says, Happy St. Patrick's Day, and welcome on the 11 Yanks show. My wife is currently servicing the Amazon delivery guy. I never should have crossed that KY jelly on Prime. Oh, you should have ordered the KY. How do you
say? What are you on, Derek?
I don't know. We shall see. We'll find out tonight. By the way, tonight I am drinking Golden Monkey by Victory. Brewing right here of the good old USA.
Indianapolis, isn't it?
I don't think so. No,
I thought Victory was Indianapolis.
I mean, I can't see anymore because I'm old.
Grab your spectacles.
I should.
They might be.
But Boulevard is definitely, I don't think, in Indianapolis. I don't think it is. Victory Brewing Company, wherever the fuck that is. God damn it! Why do they make this print so small?
It's a Philly,
Philadelphia.
Yeah.
It's really good. It's quality.
Yeah.
For the price.
So, or just Pennsylvania, Downingtown, Pennsylvania, or whatever.
Right. It's another Belgian golden ale made in America, and they do it well. They do it well, guys. They really do. All right, for all 100 of you, make sure you hit like. What else happened? Oh, no move for Luca De La Torre. I don't know.
Yeah, what are you talking about? There's move right onto the U.S. men's national team, Eric.
I know, but he missed the window, right? What the fuck, dude? What's going on there? Also wanted to mention that Pete finally said Westerlo correctly today for the first time ever. And I have to take now. I clarified with that on with him on X, but I actually have to take some blame because you remember we had him on the show. It might have been the solo show, but I don't think it was. And I was like, okay, Pete, there's Waterloo, and Waterloo, where the battle was with Napoleon, has 2 O's. And I said, Westerlo has 1 O. Thus, it's pronounced Westerlo, not Westerloo. And I think he got Waterloo stuck in his head, right? And then he just stopped saying Westerloo. But he's got it right now. He's on the right path. Pete is saying it properly. Good for him. And, much love to him. All right. That's all I had as openers for this morning. But I know
I got some dog updates. So we talked about on the recorded show how I got a dog.
Yes.
A new dog. And he's doing good. He's assimilated to the house. Still treating the house kind of like the pound, just pooping and peeing when he wants to. We'll break that. We'll break that.
I'm sure you will.
He's out enough. He should be pooping and peeing outside, but regardless. But yesterday, man, I was walking him around and he just kept eating a bunch of grass. And I know that's a sign of an upset stomach, and he needs to work out whatever's in there upset. And dogs tend to eat grass and then throw it all up later. Just I
think some dogs just eat grass. Doesn't matter what their stomach issue is.
You're saying they're saying they're intelligent creatures. No, that's the point behind the concept of dogs eating grass. But I kept telling him like Zuko, stop it. You're gonna throw this all up later. Pulling him away. Couldn't walk him around. And then last night, turn the lights off. Jackson comes running in. He's like, Dad, Zuko threw up. I go inside and there's like just this giant ball of grass and weed. Not weed, but weeds,
Right.
Just sitting there, I'm like, oh, you motherfucker. Clean that up and everything. Last dog update I'm going to give before we move on.
Right. No, that's good. Good to know. But that's puppy phase, right?
So,
but go ahead.
Yeah. So yesterday my son was down here playing on the Xbox.
Mm-hmm.
And I was upstairs with the dog, taking him out for a walk, coming back in, realizing he pooped in my dining room. I had to go pick that up. And Jackson comes from upstairs, like, Dad, your monitor, your screen it just broke. And I go, I'm dealing with the dog right now. We'll deal with that in just a second, okay? No, it just broke. I was on it and it stopped working. I'm like, dealing with the dog right now. We'll deal with that just a little bit. So deal with the dog and everything. Come around the corner, open up the door to the basement, walk straight downstairs. Jackson follows in tow. And turn on the monitor. And I see this. I'm like, So you're telling me it just stopped working and this is what happened. It just happened.
That looks raked upon.
It just happened. Okay.
Yeah, right.
So this is as good of a picture as this is. This is nowhere near the fun that I'm looking at right now because I'm looking at this screen right now with that screen, and it's the most messed up thing in the world. And it's just out of nowhere, the screen just decided to stop working. I mean,
yeah, it didn't.
It
didn't.
Jackson. Look, there's the Xbox controller right next to me, and I pick it up, and there's a scuffed edge. I'm like, Jackson, what this kind of looks like. I'm not saying that you did it or anything, but what this kind of looks like is you got upset with the game, and you swung your fist with the controller and pegged my monitor.
Yep.
He goes, I actually do. I remember doing that, but I don't think I hit the monitor. I'm like, well, I can tell you right there.
Yep.
That's the focal point of where the Xbox controller hit the monitor. It doesn't just stop working like this.
Right.
This is
right. You're taking this much better than I think I would. But good.
Well,
good.
I've had 24 hours to sleep it all off, man.
Okay, good for you.
And the monitor still works, but man, it's going to make reading Twitter during the show really difficult.
Right. By the way, yeah, I'm glad you still can do the show. Somebody asked, I thought Waterloo was a song. It is. It's by ABBA. You're correct. Yeah, it goes something like Waterloo. Ba ba da ba dee ba da ba ba doo. I don't know what the lyrics are. It's not one of their better ones. And yes, I did teach 30 years ago, and now I'm teaching again. Somebody asked. I hate when that happens.
Talking about monitors randomly breaking.
Modern art, that.
Got a laugh at it. Larry says Jackson punched it. Kind of. Let's see what else did people say. Like, we had an oh damn. You know, you're scared. He goes, I believe him. Well, yeah. and Godkong says maybe he got jump scared. Well, he was playing FIFA 20 or EA 24. So I don't think he got a jump scare unless the team scored on him or someone's like, son of a God.
That game can be frustrating. So
he's had a tendency recently to say, Jesus Christ. And I'm like, I really gotta stop. I'm gonna watch myself, man.
Right.
Like, Jackson, I don't want you saying that, you know, especially around other people.
Not in class. Winkle K Gonzalez for $1.99. Do you know there's a club in Granada called QPR? Yeah, I mean there's a club in South America named Arsenal. It gets shared. Names get shared, right? So I don't know what the QPR stands for in Granada, but it could be Queen Park Rangers for all we know. I don't know. I'm not an expert on Grenadian soccer. There you go.
Is it Grenadian or Grenadian?
I don't know. Not going to pretend to know. Not an expert on Caribbean islands.
Oh, okay.
All right. What else we got?
Well, you've passed along an animal video.
Yeah.
We used to do animal videos a lot. And periodically, we do bring one up every now and then when they're fun. So I only caught like a few seconds of this because I really had to figure out what this was about.
It's a whistling walrus. I didn't know they could whistle. I found this. He's a regular old Bob motherfucking Dylan though.
I mean,
there.
That was impressive. I mean,
yeah, I didn't know they could do that. That's news to me. News to me. German Goo Girl says wood.
Or it could be Greg Berhalter.
Could be Triple G. Yep. Sorry.
Hey, it's Andy Reid.
Yeah. Could be. Good ones, guys. All right. Next, what do we got here? Let's move this show along so we're not here for 3 hours.
We got to move on to to a new segment.
Okay. Yeah. Brandon.
A new segment with a new video.
Here we go. New segment, people.
Where are they now? Yeah. Where are they?
All right,
Derek, you're right. We're not gonna get hit on that at all.
No. I screwed that Barry Manilow sound up badly. Where are they now? I might as well just sing it myself.
No.
All right, who is this? Does anybody know? Anybody know out there? Who is this?
Anybody
guy?
In the chat? We got a name.
Kyle!
Who's that? No, don't ruin it. Don't ruin it.
All right, let's see if anybody can get it. Yep.
You already gave you a hint, guys.
Who is this?
Who is this cat?
Okay.
Yeah, we got a need the new intro song. Oh man, this is going to be depressing.
Could be.
A quiz show. That's exciting. Chris Gary says John Doe.
It is Kyle Scott. Remember when he was at Chelsea, coming up through the Chelsea ranks? Then he went to Telstar on loan, and
an Orange County player.
Yes. And then the coach at Telstar's like, I'd rather play some kid that tries hard than this kid. And then he got benched at Telstar in Holland, and then he went back to Chelsea. Then he got sold to Newcastle. Then he moved on to Cincy, where he played for a whole total of 4 games. And now he's at Orange County, and he's a regular starter. So that answers the question, where is he now, or where are you now? Where are they now?
It's fascinating. Going back, if you could go back in time, and I remember the Kyle Scott board in on Big Soccer.
Yeah.
You just go back and go, guys, you're going to be disappointed.
You're going to be disappointed. And
no.
Let me see how old he is. He is 26. 26.
Yeah.
I mean, 3 more years, he's going to be bordering on 30. But remember when people thought, oh my God. And then we got another guy.
Yeah. Hold on. Before you say the name, Derek, who's this guy? We need to find more photos of players without the names so we can actually play this game.
I know. Anyhow,
God Kong says Kyle Scott is in a witness protection program. Or it's a witness protection program name.
Something like that.
Yeah.
Anyhow, if you're wondering where Gideon Zalalem went last season, he played in the 2nd division in Holland. And now he is clubless. Clubless in Seattle.
Is that Shaggy?
Clubless. It does look a little like Shaggy. Not this, but the prior one. Yeah. If you see younger pictures of Kyle Scott, he looks even more like Shaggy. It's crazy. So, well done. Anyhow, yeah, this is Gideon Slalom. He's got no team. And he's 20. Get this, Brett. You ready for how old he is?
Yeah.
27.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Man, the years have gone by.
I know. Remember we used to watch him play the U20s? Holy crap. That was like 8-9 years ago.
That was 2 knees ago, too.
It's almost a decade ago. All right. For all 169 of you in here, nice. Make sure you like, subscribe, share it with your grandma. And we are off to the next topic. Well, no more whistling walruses, we promise.
Maybe not. Can't make any promises there, Derek. Well, I feel like these menaces, they're still kind of doing that panic. So let's talk about that.
Do not panic. Do not panic. Cap them now. Cap them now. All right. Matisse Albert or Mathis Albert.
Albert.
Depending where you're from. And Jack Mize, 08.
Yeah, that's fair. I would say Mize too.
Yep. Both started this morning. I'm thinking Larry Mize, same thing, golfer. Both started this morning for Dortmund's U17s and a 4-0 win over Osnabrück's U17s. Stick it to little tiny Osnabrück. Albert scored his first goal. Let's just make this a thing. His name is Matisse Albert. Let's just call him that, regardless with what anybody says.
It sounds cooler than Mathis Albert. So
yes, it does.
Let's go with it.
All right. Albert scored his first goal in Germany as he added in Dortmund's 4th. After today, Mize and Albert are both off with U17s for the Jizek Cup.
We talked about that, I think, during the recorded show.
And I know it's the Jizek Cup. But I prefer to call it the Jizek Cup. All right. For those that get off on youth players, not us, but, just others. All right. The first game is September 4th against Germany's U18s, where they face off against teammates Tyler Meiser and Montrell Colbreth. Are those both dual nats as well? Is that why you're adding them? Is Montrell Colbreth a dual nat for Germany's U18s? Is Tyler Meiser a dual nat? It sounds like that's what they're saying. This tournament will be a huge testy for both, as Mize is playing an age group up and Albert is playing up 2 age groups.
Albert was in the Kevin Sullivan grade level.
That's what I did in high school, Brett. I played up 2 age groups.
You mean with women, right?
With the ladies.
Yeah,
all right.
I called that. I ruined that joke for you.
God Kong Snake. I think that's a reference to his own penis, I believe.
I don't know so.
This is why I pay zero attention to youth prospects. I don't even want to hear Kevin Sullivan's name. Yeah, I mean, listen, we always say, hey, stay tuned, but don't get too erect about it.
That's in reference to the previous segment.
Right. Oh, yeah, for Kyle Scott and Zalalem. By the way, I said is my big example of why you don't get overly excited about a youth player. That was the one player I really thought was going to turn out.
In fairness, Derek, you may have been right with it if he didn't have knee surgery after knee surgery.
Yeah, no, I agree. It could have turned out differently.
Two knees ago, he could have been balling at Arsenal still.
Yeah, and he's even talked about it in interviews like, yeah, after those injuries, I've never really felt the same.
It's tough, man.
Yep. Winelke Gonzalez for 199. In Cayman Islands, there's a club called Latinos FC. Okay.
Man.
I mean, that seems very, specific as far as the race of the players. But
well, I mean, you go to like some Sunday league, in any major city and everything like that, you're going to come across of like the Jamaican boys or whatever. Like it's just a team of people from said culture altogether. Right.
I mean, at least this is not as weird as like Young Boys. Where do you
why?
Because
I know that I know Tact made a joke about the Go Ahead Eagle team, but why would you ever say Young? Why would you ever name your team Young Boys?
I would guess because at one point the team was mostly made up of young boys, but I do think that not anymore. There's 30-year-olds on that team, and I don't really think they like being called a young boy.
Why don't you call them old boys at this point?
How about you rename the team Young Middle, and Old Boys? It's too long. That's why.
A full spectrum of boys and men.
A spectrum of boys. A spectrum of boys and men. FC.
15 through 39-year-olds. That should be the team name, right?
Right. But at least it's not Middle Fart, right? Middle Fart.
Yeah.
Yeah. Jeff Carey for 199. Michigan or Texas? For me, Michigan, because I hate hot. I don't want to be hot.
If we're just talking regionally, not necessarily talking politics, things like that, just the region, Michigan all the way. Yeah,
I just can't deal with hot. I don't like hot, and hot like 80% of the year I can't do. I don't want to do it. I can't
stand the heat in Indiana.
I know. Imagine.
I'm like dying. I'm like, it's like, hey, can we go out to the fields? I'm like 95 degrees outside, 100% humidity. You really want to go outside right now?
It was 96 degrees on Friday here. 96. Screw that. I don't want to live with that on a regular basis.
He's talking college football. I'm still going to go with Michigan on this front. Half my family is of Michigan. Half the other family is Michigan State. So I got all of Michigan covered.
My dad's going to go Michigan State for sure. He's a grad.
I think it's Michigan, not Michigan State, though.
I know, but my dad's a graduate of Michigan State. He's a big Michigan State guy. So there you go.
My side of the family is Michigan State. My wife's side of the family is Michigan.
Yep. I don't know who's going to win that, by the way.
I've got no problems with either side of the family too, because I'm Indiana. I'm Hoosier.
Yeah, I'm an Indiana fan, which isn't good for football generally, and hasn't been good for basketball for years either.
It's been anticlimactic for soccer at that point too. Like we've always had decent teams recently, but they always seem to just fizzle out when it comes to tournament time.
Yeah. It's not been great anywhere lately for Indiana University. So
no,
it is what it is. That's why my interest in college sports has fizzled out a little bit lately, because it's kind of like, Indiana football, they're going to generally be meh. Indiana basketball has been generally meh. And even Indiana soccer has been better than meh, but still not what
it used to be. Yeah, exactly. Right. So
all right.
Do we need to play the song again, Dual Nap Panic? Because we've been talking about Dual Nap Panic and it's been a while. So I'm joking.
Yeah, I don't think so.
We don't need to play it again. I think everybody knows.
Dual Nap Panic. Cap him now, freaking out. Holy crap. Yeah, that whole thing. Dual Nap Panic. All right, real Dual Nap Panic. Seriously, Henri Chase, U.S.-Japan dual nat and Japanese youth player, started for Stuttgart today and went 90. He's 20 years old. 20! And look at that head of hair.
I'm jealous.
So his dad is American. His mom's Japanese. This is what they produced. It's a giant man.
This is what they produced.
Yes. He's a large mammal that plays center back for Stuttgart at the age of 20. at 20. Like, and with our current pool, but it's too late, I think, for the most part, Brett. I think he's already made his decision. He's been playing for the Japanese youth teams, his whole youth system. So I don't think there's much we can do now, but I'd still give him a phone call and say, hey, you know, how about
his defense, I mean, has the U.S. actually reached out to him?
I don't know.
Did we know about him prior to him starting this weekend?
I don't know, because U.S. Soccer doesn't talk, so we don't know. You would hope they would have at least known and said, wow, this kid's coming up through the Stuttgart youth system, and he's got an American passport, and his dad's an American. Maybe we should give him a call or pay him a visit or watch a game, one of his youth team games.
Here's the thing. U.S. should reach out at this point and say, hey, I see you're starting for Stuttgart at this point. Our center backs are really sus. You stand a pretty good chance of starting in 2026. I'm just saying.
Yes. And if you had Poch by now, which we don't have Pochettino by now, when we'll get to that later, because that's getting creepy, you could have Pochettino give him a call. Now, that would be stimulating for a 20-year-old. Be like, oh, yeah, I'll take that call.
Yeah.
I'll take that call. But since we don't really...
He looks at his phone and goes, I don't know anybody from Argentina. Click.
I don't think... Well, they would call his agent to set up the call.
I know.
All right, you're being a smart ass.
The joke is anytime you're looking at your phone going like, no, I don't know who this is. This looks like spam.
But I don't think a call from Mikey Veras is going to get anybody erect, right? So I don't think that's going to do it.
You might know me from such places like the U20s.
Or even if they ask Gooch to call him, you know, Gooch, hey man, I'm a former CB for US men's national team. Would you guys be interested in maybe coming out?
AC Milan. You don't remember?
No,
me? You don't remember me?
He never played. He used to hang out at AC Milan and get in fights with the Ibrahimovic man.
Yeah.
All right. So anyhow, I mean, there's no panic really. I was joking mostly because
panic in the sense that here's a player that is
legit
capable of playing for us, and it's something that we should have been looking into at some point. I mean, it's possible that there are just players out there that we don't know their dual citizenship until well into their careers, but we should have people out there looking.
I don't know if I ever reported this one, but I did know about it for some time. And then when I saw that he started for Stuttgart this weekend, I'm like, holy shit, cap him now. Ba-ba-ba-da, keep-a-doo. The whole song came out of right in my head, you know? So, all right. Well, I don't know if we have any hope of capturing his attention or capturing his attention for the first time, probably. But it doesn't hurt to make... If you can hire Poach, have Poach give him a call. Set it up through his agent. Give him a call. See if he's still open. I just hate that the fact that we are the best goalkeeper, American goalkeeper, plays on the Japanese national team, and now one of the best CBs, young CBs with high potential ceiling, plays for the Japanese national team. Like, I don't know. Seems like a bad trend.
I could just see somebody from U.S. reach out going, hey, Henry, and hey, why didn't you let us know that you had an American dad? We would have, since Scott's over, taken a look at you over in I'm assuming you played the Japanese league. It's news to us. He's like, I let Greg know like last year or 2 years ago. Oh,
yeah.
You didn't pass it on to us.
I do see that Untouchables is saying, let's focus on Koleosho first. He just got called up. I was told he was called up for this team. He said no, and that he went instead to go play for the Italian U21s. So there you go. You can. There's only so much you can do. It's like you can't fly somebody in and suck his cock and make him sign a contract to come to the U.S. soccer because he's not going to do it.
Yeah. And I'm just saying, doing this right here, picking up your phone, go beep boop bop beep boop. And just talking to the player or talking to the agent and the player at the same time or whatever. Just saying, hey, we're interested. We like what you bring to the thing, blah, 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 et cetera, et cetera. You may not be interested now, but we're always still here. That takes all of it like 30 seconds to.
Oh, they've done that with Koleosho.
No. I'm just saying. He said to focus only on Koleosho. I'm like, you could do multiple players at the same time, right?
Oh yeah, for sure.
I just burned 3 hours talking to a bunch of dual nats.
Yeah.
Hey, we'd like to get you into camp. Maybe the U23s, U20s at first, and then go into the big boy team. I don't know.
As porn clearly points out, a man can have sex with several women at the same time. So, and thus, whoever is our coach or becomes our coach can also make multiple phone calls. In fact, they're going to need to, because there's a lot of dual nats out there. A lot. So you're going to have to be ambidextrous or multifaceted or of many minds, and also be diligent as well. Recruiting isn't the same as begging. I agree. It's not. And I don't think begging ever should come into it. I would agree with that.
I'll say one thing I liked about the Greg tenure was his approach to it all. Go see what the other camp's like. Come see what our camp's like. Make your decision. If you go that way, best of luck to you. If you play with us, we'll see what we can do.
You know what? I've heard you say that so many times on the show. I think you need to take the lube off your hand and off of Greg's cock. Honestly.
Hey, you got to give Greg props when he gets props.
Oh, right,
you bag on him so hard.
I know.
You bag on him so hard. I don't want to. We're just say, hey, is that one thing? That one thing he's got. The one thing.
All right, so we handled that well. He's like, you want to play for us? Cool. If you don't, cool. That was his approach, and I think that's how the approach has to be. And I agree with that. So, all right. All right, but no need to bust out the lube on that topic anymore. All right.
We'll bust it out whenever it comes up, Derek. You just get ready for it, okay?
Derek is a Greg Stan. This is BMR. In what way? I wouldn't barely giving him credit for what Brett just said. All right. Anyhow, I mean, listen, it's like giving Greg all the credit for the culture on the team, which is so fucking stupid. I can't even believe it. All those players have known each other, or most of them have, since they were young players. He didn't need to develop dick squat. Let's be really honest about that. That was already there. That chemistry was already there.
A culture just hasn't started. You got to keep working with it, Derek.
Oh, shut up.
And these guys have never gone to a zoo to take a look at African dogs before.
Or
until Greg came into the picture.
Or the battlefield of Gettysburg. That was a big one for them. That built some real serious team culture there. Oh, boy. All right. Where are we going?
PMR's already backpedaling. He says he meant Brett.
Okay. Yeah, get it right, PMR. It's Brett's the stand for Greg on one issue.
Yeah.
All right. I'm kind of halfway with Brett, honestly.
Everybody's on the same side as Brett on this topic. You don't want anybody doing predatory poaching of players.
Brett, all I'm saying is, but that's sort of should be the general approach anyhow. Nobody should ever beg for a player to play on our team, ever. So him doing the right thing, that is what most normal people would do. I just don't want to give him credit for that, because that's just what most normal people would do. We know
Arena didn't beg for Rossi. Rossi was like, hey, give me a 06 World Cup call-up, and he's like, can't happen, bro. Not right now.
Yeah. You don't beg, and you don't make deals like that.
They're like 2 months down here, man. We can't call you in right now. It's nuts.
Right. All right. For the 220 of you here right now, make sure you like, subscribe, share it with your grandmother. Reach over and just tap your stepsister lightly on the knee. Say, I'm really glad you're here, babe. All right. Really glad you're here, babe. All right. What else we got?
That way she's here to listen to this.
Transfer news. Transfer news. Who's getting monitored on transfer news? Who's getting over on transfer news? Transfer news. Everyone loves that transfer news but me. Whatever.
All right. Before we get to that, Jackie D says Clinton made so many of those deals. I don't really know what deals you're talking about. Did he?
He made it with Green. The deals.
That was
with Rossi.
That was a bad deal.
Well, it was a bad deal because Green was. Hindsight's always 20/20, Derek. At the time, he was still being touted on Bayern's youth team and first team, and it looked like he could have possibly have moved up in the world. But then, obviously, after he joined the U.S., things went to shit.
I'm sorry, that's jumping the gun on Julian Green. I'm sorry, he was never, ever going to be better than a 2 Bundesliga player. And that's where he is now. And he's playing well there. But I don't know. To me, that was jumping the gun because Jurgen's German, Julian Green's German-American. And, it was Bob Bradley that did the no-deal things with Jermaine Jones and a bunch of other players that I thought was spectacular. So, I don't know.
No, I agree with those. I agree with Bradley's on those things as well. But I'm gonna. I don't know, man. I'm just saying when Green was 18 years old or whatever, and he was getting sniffs at Bayern's first team at the time.
Still.
And nope. I mean, it's one of those things where you have the opportunity. I mean, I wouldn't have called him into the World Cup initially, over another player, but it was one of those things where if you could bag him as a pull, that would have been a great thing at the time. Now, of course, hindsight again is always 2020, and things didn't pan out as well. But at the time, he was a really highly touted player.
Okay, fine, but you don't listen. To me, making a deal is like begging. You don't do it.
Yes, I agree. I know. I literally just said that too. I wouldn't have taken him to the World Cup.
Well, you could have. You could have
good.
taken him to the World Cup and left 2 other players off and brought Donovan and Green to the World Cup, right? You could have left off the guy who won Wando, and you could have left out Davis, right?
Yeah. No, I agree. 100%.
That's all still on Klinsmann. That is a huge mistake on his part. And you could have had Green and
there should be no question having Donovan on the team at all.
No,
if
there was
Green
no
was
question.
Be included, and you take somebody else off.
Staff
stupid.
Quit after that announcement. He lost staff. Did Klinsmann after that announcement? The players were. Some of them have come out and talked about that since. They were like, "No, there's no way." We all of us thought Landon should have been on the team. All of us did. Behind closed doors, we wouldn't say that to Jurgen, but we're just like, what the fuck? That's crazy. He was great in the Gold Cup, just a short while back.
A year prior or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah, he's back. He's full on back to being Landon Donovan. And during the camp, before he picked the starting, he was like the guy that finished the death run before everybody else. The death run. You know what that is, where they run until they basically puke or fall over. And he was the most in shape guy on the team. I don't want to hear anything about, he took a vacation because of mental problems and he counted himself off the team. Whatever. He came back, rededicated himself, and he had to take that break in some ways because he'd been playing nonstop for 2 years. LA Galaxy, during the break with LA Galaxy, Everton. Back to LA Galaxy for a full season. In the break, Everton again, on loan. Back to the LA Galaxy. The dude was exhausted.
Well, it's safe to say he was nonstop playing to that point from 17 and up.
Yeah, and
you have that long MLS break, but during that time period, he was being called up into international windows, playing games. So it's not. I don't know. Those.
And he went through his divorce, right?
Yeah,
People don't remember that. That was crushing for him. If anybody remembers any of the interviews Donovan did way back then, yeah, he was completely crushed by that divorce. It hit him right in his soul, right? There's more to that story. I'm not going to get into it now, but let's just say he was kind of shocked by things his wife had done. Anyhow, very shocking for him, especially for who he was. He was balding back then already. He must have felt insecure, and he's not one of those guys that are, he's not a macho man to begin with. So he's very, very tender. As people will know who have interacted with him on X or Twitter, he will fucking block you in a second, in a freaking country second. So, all right, Tom, don't bogart that joint, my friend Tom Selleck Bogart. Here's the crazy thing. I was over with my parents today. I don't know where they heard this. But they're like, hey, we were talking about, I don't know what show. And they're like, hey, did you know Tom Selleck was gay? I'm like, Tom Selleck is not gay. I don't care if he is.
Yeah.
But he's not gay. Where did you hear that? They're like, no, I think we heard that somewhere, right? Right, Dave? To my dad. Oh, yeah, we did hear. We heard that on a show. I don't know what stupid ass show you're watching, And I don't care if Tom Selleck's gay. Gay people are perfectly welcome in this world, and I love them, just like all of, the magical world of people. But he's not gay.
It's possible in his 70s and 80s at this point, he just wants to hang out with his bros instead of, finding another lady friend.
So I had to look it up to prove it to him that he's not gay. I'm like, look, here it is. There's the answer right there. He's still married. He lives on a 13-acre ranch with his wife, his second wife. He's not gay. I don't know where he heard this crap, but it's not true. And if he was, I'd fully support Tom Selleck being gay. I really would. At whatever age he wants to come out of the closet. That's Russian disinformation. I don't know what it is. Like, where did they get that? I don't know, man. Sometimes I don't know where people get shit. Anyhow, Tom Bogert, I don't know what his sexual proclivity is, and I frankly don't care. San Diego FC has signed winger Alex Mighton. Oh my God, dual nat panic from Nottingham Forest. Mighton, 22, is a former England youth international who's eligible for the U.S. men's national team. Why even write that? He's got
eligible.
He's got as much chance at being in a porn as Pee Wee Herman did back in the days. All right, not much of a chance.
I feel like there would have been a market for a Pee Wee Herman porn of some form in there.
They called him Pee Wee for a reason, Brett.
Still saying that. I'm sure there's an entire segment for micro penises or large clits, whatever you want to call them.
Didn't Screech do a porn?
He did.
Okay, maybe
he
it's
also
possible.
stabbed a bitch too, man. Fucking crazy.
Yeah.
He also stabbed a bitch too.
Oh, did he?
Hey, he went to jail for it, man.
Is he still in jail? I don't know.
I don't know. No, he committed suicide recently.
No shit.
Or he Minecrafted himself.
Minecrafted? I don't know what that means. I know the game, but anyhow, point being is this is fine news. He should report this, right? But he shouldn't add at the end that he's eligible for the U.S. men's national team. I suppose that's information, but it's almost insinuating you're saying he's got a chance?
Dude, no Buck's got a better chance.
I love Bimmy, Derek, the lover of gays. I love people, Bimmy, period. Not all of them, but most of them. All right. I don't like the dumbass ones that live in some dogma world, but that's a whole different thing. I'm not getting into that. All right. What else we got? By the way, I was sick this weekend. It sucked.
It's been a whole thing as far as Screech in the chat. Talking about his dad. He died of cancer, didn't he? I thought he offed himself.
I don't know. But I had like the onset of whatever cold, and it's not letting go, but it got better today. But I had it Friday late, Saturday all day, Sunday mostly all day, and then Monday. And it's getting better, I think. I hope. We'll see. All right. What else we got? You missed the super chat.
Yep. I'm going to pull it up in just 2 seconds. Can't do it quick enough. I thought you were going to ramble for a little longer. So
Jeff Carey says $1.99. Am I considered gay if I only like tack? I think you also like Pete too, though, Jeff. So there might be a little trend there. I don't know. But if that's true that you only like tack, I mean, tact is a man. And you're attracted to him, I guess that makes you very picky as a gay man, maybe? A very picky gay man. Very picky.
Could be bi. You never know.
Could be bi. You could be bi, too. Or if you don't like women and you just like tact and that's all, that's called monosexualism, where you're only attracted to one thing. And it doesn't matter what it is, but it's just one thing. Yes.
One thing. Derek's just called tact a thing.
I'm just saying, if it was a car bumper or it's a person, it's monosexualism. There's like only one thing that you'll accept as a partner, right? He's tax sexual.
Yeah. Apparently, Screech passed away from lung cancer. Tony says, the beer bug, COVID.
Yeah.
I think we're past the point where we can say COVID all we want.
Yeah.
So
I like that for Jeff Carey. I think he's embracing it too, Alex. with the taxexual thing. That's really quite good. But I also thought that you had to think for Pete. I might be wrong on that one. Casey 25, I only like Brett. Well, Casey, that's not very nice.
Yep. No, you made the right choice, Casey.
I mean, between the two of us, that's completely fair. But I mean, with the 4, yeah, I already mentioned that one. Yeah. Taxexual. Yep. It's quite good. Yep.
It's a new thing. It's a new thing. It's we got to start a whole wiki page on that.
Jeff Carey says some over Pete. Okay.
Oh. Probably because Pete's fake, right? He's an actor.
Well, he's got a girlfriend. No, so does Tack, though. They both have girlfriends. You got the wife. I'm the only one that's openly free. Free as a bird. And I don't want anything to do with anybody, all right? So here we go. I'm staying the way I am. Ooh, I'm flying solo. All right. And I like it. I'm loving it. No drama. No drama. No drama, no drama. All right, what else? Taco is dying. That is true. Cheers and props and much love to Taco, who has lymphatic cancer and doesn't have much time with this year. I mean, a lot of us have lost dogs. Brett lost the dog last year. I lost the dog the year before. And now Pete is losing to Taco. So I lost Gizmo. I forgot the name of your dog.
Monty.
So we've lost Monty, Gizmo, and now Taco.
Hopefully, Tex isn't on. Tex on next. He's on.
Sorry.
Hope he...
Derek dying a virgin. Oh, it never stops.
Sad.
So
guys.
sad. So sad. Hey, man, why did you raise my kids for me then, motherfucker? God damn it.
They were Derek's.
That was a lot of fucking work and effort. God damn it. Why did I do that to myself? All right.
So when we were looking at getting a boxer, we wanted to find a boxer name, like a legit boxer.
Yeah.
And we went through and didn't want to name him any of the regular household names at the time. And we came across Monty, and I was like, oh, nice.
I thought you named him after the general, the English general from World War II. General Montgomery. They called him Monty. Nope.
I'm kind of surprised you didn't go along the lines of a full Monty or something like that.
No, that's too Monty Python. All right. What else we got?
There you go. He literally, BMR was literally on top of what you were just saying there. Or what I was saying there, I guess.
Brett, are you going to get a dog and name it Python?
Monty Python,
yeah. If Monty were still alive, that would make sense.
Yeah.
Monty Python, get in the fucking house right now.
No one expected the Spanish Inquisition.
It's just a flesh wound.
So this I will say this about Reggie leaving QPR kind of surprised me in the sense that he just got hit hard with his Portuguese lawsuit. It was Portuguese or was it Spanish? Doesn't matter. The lawsuit where he owes his previous team, whatever,
Boa Vista,
like 1 point some odd mil or whatever.
1.6.
Yeah. So I don't know. I don't know what happened.
You know what
he wasn't really playing for QPR that much, but
you know what he is, Brett? He's fucked. He's fucked. Why? Because he probably doesn't have $1.6 million just laying around. Okay? And QPR were like, yeah, you're not really needed here, so we're going to cut you loose. And you're kind of a pain in the ass when you don't play. Kind of bitch and moan a little. Anyhow, these just reports from QPR fans. Whatever, you got to go look it up. So, yeah. Kind of sad.
How does international law work in this sense? So if he were to say come back to the United States, does Portugal or does Boa Vista have any form of legal ramification or legal or ability to come and
if he ever wants to play in UEFA or in a registered league, a registered FIFA league, yeah.
Oh, so that just means that at this point, all this means is that he's done with soccer.
Well, he can get a job and start making payments towards his $1.6 million debt.
Or you could just be done with soccer.
No, because he needs to make money now. Bad.
I guarantee you. I was just asking. And you're like, well, if he wants to play for a UEFA team ever again.
No.
I literally asked you if he were to come back to the United States, any ramification there.
You misunderstood what my answer was. Okay. My answer was a clarification that if he ever wants, yes, Boa Vista's $1.6 million fine for what he did to them is going to be attached to him. So he has to, wherever he goes to play again, he has to live up to whatever standards of that $1.6 million fine. He has to pay it, or no one will sign him or play him, because it's part of a decision that FIFA's going to probably uphold. And if you can't hire a guy who's not going to play by the rules, so more than likely he's going to have to pay that $1.6 million is what I'm telling you.
And I'm saying, or you just stop playing soccer.
Okay, you could do that, but what's his job going to be? He's not a gazillionaire. I bet you he's not even a multimillionaire. Hell, they barely paid him at Boa Vista. How many paychecks did he miss?
There's so many people around the world that actually don't play soccer for a profession that he could go out and find another job.
Dude, he doesn't even have a college degree. What's he going to do? Work at McDonald's?
There's plenty of work in the trades, Derek.
Yeah,
he could go to college at this point. He can do anything. That's what I'm saying. Only thing he can't do, unless he wants to pay that 1.6 mil back, is play soccer.
Let's just pretend he's got $1 million in the bank right now.
I don't care if he has 50 cents in the bank.
He can make a deal with the debtor, and he'll pay, whatever amount per month, and he won't have to pay it off at the same time. And meanwhile, he could go back to playing. I just don't see Reggie Canning at his age right now quitting soccer. I just don't see it.
Assuming he's got $1 million.
I think he probably has somewhere close to that. That would be my guess.
I would be shocked and astonished. I would say maybe a couple $100,000 at most. He's 26 too, man.
But he's been paid quite handsomely throughout his career at Dallas and then at the beginning at Boa Vista. You'd think he would have saved some of that.
Well, that's
he's not a partier.
You would think. I have no idea his personal life, so I have no idea what he's like.
I've always heard he's not a partier. So he's not like
maybe he's in the video games and he's lost a lot of his money on micro.
I mean,
purchases. You never know.
He could be a guy that loves to bet money and he's lost tons of money. We don't know the circumstances, but being $1.6 million in debt to a club that basically fucked you over and didn't pay you for a while because they didn't have the money seems wow. I mean, what I would first do if I were him is I would appeal the case if you've got good standing and say, listen, they weren't paying me, and so I left. I have every right to do that as a worker. So I would appeal it if that's indeed what he's saying.
That's the most fascinating aspect of this entire thing is that the fact that they stopped paying him and now he's screwed over because he left.
Mm-hmm.
That's fascinating to me. Fascinating in the wrong sense of like, haha, but more like, wow, I can't believe they actually won on that.
If that's true, that's what Reggie claims.
Yeah.
So, but apparently he's already lost in court. So, but as Jackie D says, Boa Vista has to pay him as part of the deal. So that means, first of all, even though he owns 1.6, I think they owe him about 600,000. So they got to pay him that. So that'll go down to $1 million. Anyhow, it's not my problem. It's Reggie's problem.
Yeah.
So I don't really care. I mean, I wish him the best, of course. I care in that way. I don't want to see any guy.
I thought the 600K was a little high when you mentioned it too. But yeah, I thought it was something along the lines of like 80 or 60K.
Maybe it's only that. And if that's the case, he's still fucked.
Oh, even more so now.
Yeah. So I've heard like 5 different numbers thrown out there at this point. So I don't know what to believe. So Jackie's saying 85K is all they owe him right now. So ouch, if that's the case. Anyhow, moving on.
If Greg would have taken him to the World Cup, he probably could have paid that off.
He didn't deserve to make the World Cup.
No, I agree.
Yep.
I don't think Shaq Moore deserved to make the Cup either, but he did.
Well, there were a lot of charity going on. Aaron Long made the team too.
Sure.
So. Manchester United. Anybody watch that team last 2 games? Anybody really want to go play for that team? are reportedly lining up a move for Anthony Robinson if they can raise the funds before the January transfer window. Oh, that the funding's not the problem. Man United are looking for a long-term replacement for Luke Shaw, or to Luke Shaw, I guess. Fulham rate Robinson around 30 mil. Well, they'll be able to afford that, I think.
They wanted him to get him.
Problem is,
if they're willing to offer that, yes.
Do you want to go play for a club that looks like a pair of saggy balls? Because that's what they look like right now, Manchester United. I wouldn't. I'd stay at Fulham. I think Fulham have a better chance at finishing higher on the table this season than Man United, the way things are going right now.
Yeah. No, I mean, I think Fulham are in a good place now. Like in years past, you could sit there and go like, well, more likely than not, Fulham's would get relegated over Man U possibly getting relegated. But now it's at a point where I think Fulham are stable enough to where I don't think that's in question. And going into the next season, even forecasting next season, I don't think anybody's going to sit there and say, well, I think Fulham's going to be relegation fodder.
No, I don't think so.
I think they're safe with this.
Yeah,
game.
Not this season for sure. No. I mean, something would have to completely fall apart. As long as they're keeping players, some of the core players, they did lose a big one, obviously, to the Bundesliga this season, but to Bayern in particular. But I think that they're still looking pretty stable. We'll see how this goes. And then, of course, Jedi had another assist. Really smart, too. You notice, and I think, who was it? Tact or Pete? This is Tact, I think, who mentioned that he's keeping all his crosses low now instead of looping them in.
Well, it's clear either his agent or he watches our show because we've been saying that for like 4 or 5 months.
Yes, we have. So even though I'm giving Tact credit because he said it, I think he said it today.
He did, yeah.
Well, we've been saying it for a while. So it's nice to hear Tact say it too because he's noticed it as well. And I just haven't heard him say it on the show yet. But yeah, keep those fucking crosses low, dude.
I mean, I say we've been saying it for like 4 or 5 years now, but we've been saying it because his aerial crosses suck.
They suck. They're horrible.
Like, just lace it across the box and hope for the best.
Yeah.
And whenever like with the U.S. men's national team, whenever he would drive it to the end line and then he would cut it back to the towards the PK spot, that's when he was getting all of his assists. That's all of his assists were like that.
Yep.
None of them were dribble down the left side and lace across into the box. None of it was like that. So we're like, do more of this, less of that.
So in the bottom line here is that I hope he doesn't move. My favorite team is Fulham. It's a team I follow. So I want to keep Jedi. So that's personal. Of course, Derek giving himself credit. I give our show credit. PMR, the show. I don't remember who said it first, me or Brett. I have no fucking clue. I don't remember that far back.
I'm gonna take the credit here. I'll give myself credit.
Yeah, it's fine. But I'm gonna take mutual credit because I probably agreed with him when he said it. There you go. All right.
That's a great point, Brett. I think that's how it went.
I think so.
I never
Brett,
thought about it.
You're spot on, Brett. Well said.
Your soccer knowledge is well above those who can juggle.
I mean, your soccer knowledge is so up there, I'm having a sports arousal, right?
Exactly, yeah.
All right, what else we got?
Yeah, moving on.
Fabrizio Romano.
I don't remember if we talked about this on Thursday's show or not. So I brought it up.
No, we didn't. Crystal Palace agreed to a deal with Nottingham Forest to sign Matt Turner as the new goalkeeper for their second spot. That's not in there, but that's what he is.
Or third.
Yep, could be. He's the replacement for Sam Johnstone, who signed for Wolves. Medical today. So they'll cup his nutsack and say cough. They'll hit his little knees with the little thing to make sure everything's working. And then he'll be signed, and then he'll be the second string. There you go. All right.
Yeah, he might get a cup game. Maybe.
Yep.
Maybe.
Man, Colin Reese coming full on in the chat saying Jedi sucks and he's not even American. Jesus Christ. Man, what is that all about? Jedi's great. He's just as American as you and I, my friend. Just as American as you and I.
Yeah.
That's like saying my brother's not American because he was born in Germany. Man, fuck that shit. All right, whatever. To a German mother and an American father.
You got a German brother? Weird.
My brother was born in Erlangen, Germany, to a German mother at the time and an American father. And guess what? He's as American as apple pie.
Yeah.
He
Just made with German apples.
He lives in Raleigh, North Carolina. All right. Yeah, Colin with the soft racism. I guess it's certainly something. I don't know what that is. It's certainly weird with a country made up of dual everybody's. Like, are we born again? Are we borners here? Is that what this is? You got to be born here to be an American? I guess. I don't know. I thought it was just you had to have an American passport last I checked. All right, Derek, is Beer Fest your favorite movie? It isn't. That's more Brett's favorite movie than mine.
I wouldn't say anywhere near my favorite movie, but it is a good movie, yes.
It is a funny movie.
Very quotable.
I'm more of a beer snob, so I don't know if I really work in the Beer Fest arena very well, but I'm a snob about music. I'm a snob about history. I'm a snob about my beer. I'm just a snob, I guess.
In fairness, though, Derek, they were drinking German beer in that movie, so you'd probably be down for it.
Maybe. Hey, what about Strange Brew? Now that's a fucking classic, but it's not really a beer.
Hoser.
What you talking about, Hoser? I mean,
that's where that line came from.
Yes, that's a classic, man. I mean, we're talking 80s classic there. That is brilliant, Broken Furnace. All right, what else we got here? The VV bosses and Nuri Sahin are relying on the abilities of Gio Reyna. Yeah.
Except for this week.
Yeah, the player's current level of performance. Well, they were down a man, right?
Were they?
Yeah, they were. Level of performance is reportedly surprised decision makers significantly. Ah, man, this seems overwritten. Reyna could soon take an even more significant testicular role in the team. Reyna has the potentially to partially fill many vaginas void left by Marco Royce. He could provide crucial contributions, especially against deep-lying nutsack opponents. The possession-oriented style of play under Sahin is likely to suit Reyna well. His future is likely to be in the vagina and the central midfield, either as a number 8 or a number 10. Yeah. All good. Whatever. Call me when he plays. I guess they were a man down. They decided to put in other guys.
Though, man. I mean, 73rd. I mean, they were still 0. It was still 0-0 for 73 minutes before that red card came.
Yeah, but at that point, aren't you just kind of like, well, let's put him in Mecca, right? And just play some defense. Because I think that's what they did.
They brought a midfielder in for Brandt, and that's about it.
But didn't they bring in NMECHA guy in Mecca?
Give me 2 seconds. I'll verify that.
Yes, I think they did. He's a defender. And I don't remember exactly when he came on. But
he's listed as a midfielder, and it came in at 77th minute. He came in for Brandt. Yeah.
Okay.
But he is listed as a midfielder.
He is, but he's not really a super offensive guy. Sure. So they're just trying to shore up the tie at that point after going a man down. They don't want some silly loss this early in the season, get no points out of it. So it's not like I don't understand that. Yeah, I get the reasoning.
Yeah.
It's not an excuse. I'm still expecting Reyna to do something this fucking season, and we're not giving him any goddamn excuses this time.
I'll say the thought process behind this entire post here, and I want to make sure that this wasn't like a 2-year post. Nope, this is recent. He's a potential fill in void for Marco. Yeah, that was the plan like 3 years ago.
Yeah.
That came out about 2-3 years ago. Then the injury happened. Then Terzic happened, and now we're here. So maybe the board and most of Dortmund still have that thought process, but then he needs to be getting played.
Yeah.
He needs to get minutes.
Untouchable says Dortmund really increasing that value, huh, Derek? Well, come on, context-wise. We are just in the very early growth of the sperm in the nutsack this season. Untouchables. We haven't even begun to stroke it yet. So let's just give it some time. But yes, we are. What I reported is what the board said. Don't kill the messenger. It's what the board said. Not me. I reported to you what the board's focus was this season and why Terzic was fired. that explanation is not wrong because we are seeing more of the younger players getting some more playing time so far this season. Just not Reyna. All right, he's got a whole 10 minutes so far. And that's going to be on him, especially as they flower him with all this praise in the news.
Wow, we're done with the we're really doing that already? Yeah, we're done with the transfer news. Look at that.
Transfer news is done. Ooh, whatever.
Oh no. Hold on, I gotta go find something real quick.
Fumar's saying while you do that,
yeah.
How come nobody is panicking over Johnny? Because it's too early to panic, because it's too early in the season to panic about anything yet. So I think we just need to, I mean, you can panic about a lot of things. Like Turner, you can go ahead and panic about that because that's not great. Like he's not going to play there unless the number one dude gets injured. There are other places to panic for sure, but it's so early in the season. Let's just see how things develop. You know, Paredes still injured. You know, so he's not playing. There are a lot of guys out there who we just need to see how the season really kind of develops from here. We're like, for most of the leagues, we're like 3 games in best, maybe 4 for some of the other ones, but it's too early to have any, you know, total freakouts.
Wasn't Johnny on 1 foot out into Tottenham just like a week ago?
Yeah, and I didn't believe that. Sorry. I still don't know what the whole deal there is and whether or not it was finalized. But, yeah, I mean, the fact that he came out today and didn't have a great game, honestly, it wasn't a very great game for him. Or not today, this weekend. Listen, it's 1 game. I wouldn't freak out. We'll see where it goes from here. That's what I would say. Like, we're going to build as the season goes on. We get into, like, game 10, like we did last year with Aronson at Union Berlin. Then you're going to start seeing me say, you know what? I just watched Aronson play 5 games in a row and suck dick. He's shitting all over himself. He's shitting out there. He's sucking. And then eventually as the season evolved, we got Dark Aronson. Dark Brendan. Right? And that was for the last 7 games of the season while sucking most of the other part of the season. So seasons are weird.
Carrying it over to EFL right now, though, so that's good.
Yeah, he was great with Leeds this weekend. So there you go.
Takes us right into our next segment here, actually.
Yanks abroad, grab your dick and Yanks abroad. All right, here
you notice all of our segments have the same tune to it?
I guess. I don't know. I'm just not very original. I'm an unoriginal bastard tonight. All right. Let's start with Friday, right? T-Fock went 90 in a win. Nobody talking about T-Fock. And then we had Wiley going 45 for Strasbourg. And he got an assist, nice assist in a loss versus Tanner Tessman, who got a whole 3 minutes. Got a whole 3 minutes in his debut in the win. Bucio still injured for Venezia. Griffin Yao, 80 minutes and a loss for Westerlo, along with Reynolds, who went 90 in that loss. And also, there's another American on Westerlo who was in the lineup and didn't start, but he was in the 18. That was Julian Palacios, who is an LA Galaxy U17 product. So he's a tall attacker, really tall guy. We'll see if he gets time this season. Jonathan Amon, 89 and a goal for Lindby. That's in Denmark. Dietz, 90. Green, 90 in a win. Green got a goal. They're currently sitting right now in Bundesliga 2. That is Greuther Fürth in second. So keep an eye on that. That was versus Joe Enoch's Regensburg. Joe Enoch's the coach of Regensburg, an American coach. They lost the game. They're currently in 14th. So they're going to need to pick up some points along the way. And then down in Regional Liga, we had Grayson Detoni, 90 minutes for Bayern 2 in a tie. Obina Ioka, 30 minutes. He's 30 years old, but he went 90 minutes for Phoenix Lubeck. Why did I bring him up? Just because I found it funny that he's 30 years old and he's playing in regional league. I was like,
why are we bringing up regional at all?
I know. It's like, I've never heard of this guy. And it's only because they played Bayern. Like, I'm like, oh, there's another American on the field today. All right. And then we got Drew Murray, who's 18 years old and a Earthquakes youth product, went 90 for Freiburg's 2 team. This is good news. When 18-year-olds play for the 2 team, that's good news.
I guess that'd be the only reason to cover any regional league.
That's all I do.
It's
like
just people, the young players who are playing on the 2 teams.
I wouldn't have brought up Iloko or Iloka or whatever his name is, just because the only reason I did is because I saw he was on the other team and he had an American flag next to it. I'm like, who the fuck is this guy? Obina? Ioka? Who the hell is that? And I looked him up. He's like 30 years old. He's been playing in the regional Liga for a long time, like obscure American playing in the lower leagues in Germany. And then we had in the Eredivisie in Holland, we had Osendina, 87 for Dordrecht in a win. Josh Pinnedath sat that one out. He was in the 18, didn't play.
Is this all still Friday?
Yeah.
Ooh.
I know.
Busy day.
I know. Rick Van Hees went 86 for Utrecht's 2 team. Although he is 22 years old, and he did get some time briefly in the preseason with the Utrecht 1 team. So you're kind of hopeful maybe Rick Van Hees was moving up. Nope, he's back down with the 2 team at Utrecht. But he played mostly the whole game. He is 22. He's got hair on his balls at this time. He needs to either shit or get off the pot. He can't be playing for the Utrecht 2 team at the age of 22. Can't do that, right? He's older than fucking Taylor Booth, I think. I had to take a sip. That was against Jalen Hawkins, who's 23, by the way. And Jalen Hawkins plays for Emmen. And he scored a goal for Emmen. That is Hawkins was a former Ingolstadt product for a long time in Germany. He was a youth player there. Coming
Don't recognize the name. We've talked about.
We've talked about Jalen Hawkins for a long time, actually, Brett.
Not recognize the name.
Yeah, that's weird. That's because you're drunk. All right, or you were at the time when I talked about him last.
Likely,
time.
But if we're talking, he's playing for Utrecht's 2 team.
No, he's not. He's playing for Emmen against Utrecht's 2 team.
Oh, derp. That's right.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but he's made his rounds through the whole youth systems in Germany, and they sold him to Emmen in this last transfer window. All right. Then we'd already talked about Arnie Chase, who went Henri Chase, who went 90 for Stuttgart in that tie.
I'm glad you said it too, because I keep looking at that name one and say Arnie as well.
Mm-hmm. I know. It's more like Thierry Henry.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Scally went 90, played really well, I thought.
Oh, yeah.
For 90 for Borussia Mönchengladbach.
I watched the first half because I got to shuffle between games, but yeah.
Well, I went back and watched it. I thought he played, like, people were criticizing him last weekend, and I thought he played okay in that one too. We got a super chat if you want to bring that up.
Yeah, it's going to kind of go in after Yanks Abroad, so I'm going to bring it up in just a second to CC Heat.
Koleosho 80 for Burnley, and by the way, not a good game for Koleosho. Sorry, no, not. Hope he gets better, but that's a stinker. Aiden Morris, 90 minutes for Middlesbrough and a win. I think Aiden Morris has been pretty good for Middlesbrough so far.
Again, I said it on Thursday's show, I think, but I need to see it at the national team level now.
I do.
He's good at Columbus. He's doing good at Middlesbrough. I need to see it at the national team level because he has not impressed me at all.
By the way, no surprise, Matthew Hoppe did not dress for Middlesbrough.
What?
Shocker. Also not in the U21 lineup either, so not good. Ethan Horvath, 90 minutes in a loss for Cardiff City. A lot of L's going on here early for Horvath. And some poor play as well. Not necessarily this game, but Sargent, 90 minutes in a win. A very frustrated Sargent.
Yes. First thing I noticed, this is one of the games I watch because unfortunately I've got kids and now a dog that wake me up at the ass crack of dawn. I know. Tact came out and said like that was an abysmal game. It was soccer terrorism and stuff like that. And yeah, it wasn't great by any means, but it didn't go into talking really about Sargent's play as a whole. He talked about Haji, But yeah, Sargent was visibly frustrated. That first half, especially.
Yeah.
You know, he's like nobody's he's making the runs, nobody's playing him the ball.
Yep.
I don't know what the hell happened because that's all they used to do is they used to play the ball all the time. That first half, he would make great runs, no balls distributed. Second half they came out and they played better as a team and they looked better. But then Sargent, to get a hold of that ball, had to keep coming back into the midfield.
Yeah.
Which pulled him out of the box.
He was visibly frustrated, which is something he didn't used to do, which is, I think, good. I think he needs to demand more from the players behind him, and he is. So hopefully that gets fixed. But yeah, he looked pretty unhappy. That was versus Haji Wright, who got 78 minutes in that loss. So Norwich did end up winning.
I thought Haji looked good the first half and then disappeared for me in the second.
Yep, I'd agree with that. Brendan Aronson, 90 minutes for Leeds and a win. I thought Brendan was pretty damn good.
Yeah,
I mean, I got no complaints. I mean, he wasn't perfect. He's still falling over sometimes, but not as much as
he's still 90 pounds wet, Derek. I mean, he's gonna
not as much as he used to, which is good. But I mean, he's really good carrying the ball forward. Sometimes he still holds on to it a little too long, but I think generally, I think he's going to be a starter for. I don't think Leeds fans thought he's going to be a starter this season for the whole season or most of it, but I think that's in fact going to happen, and they're playing him in the 10 spot.
And if he continues to play like that, Leeds fans will quickly get over it.
Oh, I think they're getting over it already, actually.
Yeah.
So far from what I can read.
I mean, yeah, he still needs to, start bagging some assists and stuff like that, but it's also going to rely on the rest of the Leeds, following up with it. But no, I thought his overall play was good.
Yeah, you texted me early in the morning. I'm like, yep, good. Dwayne Holmes, 20 minutes in a loss. Gooch, 6 minutes in a win. Then we got Chandler in the 18 for Frankfurt, didn't play. Nathaniel Brown didn't even dress for Frankfurt. I think he's down with the 2 team right now, or he's injured, either one of the two. But they defeated Materazzo's team, Hoffenheim. So Materazzo getting a big L there. Reina in the 18 didn't play. We already talked about it. Paredes is injured. Sebastian Soto and Klagenfurt did not dress. Slonina, 90 minutes for Barnsley, along with Donovan Pines. They're starting off hot. Pines with a goal in 80 minutes against Crawley Town. And 90 minutes for Slonina. Still needs to work on his feet, but pretty dominant win there against Crawley Town.
Just looking at the stats, because obviously I didn't watch the game, but it looked like he wasn't really tested.
No, not really, because it was against Crawley Town. Crawley Town.
You didn't even see the name again, yeah.
By the way, Crawley Town did have an American player on their starting 11 that game. What? His name is Jeremy Kelly. He's 26. Yes.
Interesting.
I think he's a former USL guy playing for the lower divisions there, third division there in England. Cole Campbell and Justin Butler for Dortmund 2. Cole Campbell went 63, and Justin Butler was in the 18, didn't play. Justin Butler's a former Bayern Munich player. Yeah. That was against Brian Kao for Osnabrück, who went 20 minutes. This is down in 3 Liga. I wouldn't bring up Brian Kao playing for Osnabrück, but since he was playing
in the game,
since he was playing in the game versus Cole Campbell, I thought I'd bring him up. That's where he is now, all the way down there in the 3 Liga in Germany. And then we got David Rodriguez for this is Mexico. David Rodriguez for San Luis was in the 18 in that win. And then Ventura Alvarado, 83 minutes for Mazatlan in the tie. Then we got Conrad. I think we thought, he's going to Switzerland, probably get some real time there. Well, he did. He got 30 whole minutes in a tie.
That's in fairness, that's like 1/8 of what he got in the entire season in Spanish too. So like that's a positive. That's an increase. Let's give him props.
Okay, but Brett, the thing is, that's kind of how things started at Eibar at the beginning as well. Right. And then they're like, nah, no more time for you. So let's hope that.
One was a loan, though. One was a sell, though, right?
We'll see.
Eibar is a loan, and
I don't know.
Sold to?
Hard to say how invested Lausanne are in Conrad. at this point. Mark McKenzie moved to Toulouse. I think he went 90. I forgot to finish that highlight game, the highlight reels on that one. John Brooks just got to Hertha, so he's not going to play there. He just physically got off the bus. Marlon Fossey, 90 minutes in a loss for Standard Liège. Sunday. God damn. Sunday. Rich.
Did we not talk about Pulisic on Saturday?
I think he's Sunday, is he?
No, I thought Juve was Sunday.
Maybe I missed him altogether because I watched the game, and how did I miss him?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure AC was Saturday.
Could have been. Yeah, it was Saturday. But Pulisic went the full 90, memory. Musa got the last 20, memory. Musa was Pulisic was really good in the first half. Not bad in the second half. It's just like he kind of pseudo disappeared a little, but still created some opportunities. But AC Milan looking pretty dirty, pretty not good so far this season.
It's not clicking with them, yeah.
Yeah, I think the coach is still experimenting wildly. I mean, you're starting Chuck Wazy over Leao. I don't know what you're doing there. You're still playing Leao out there first.
But the problem there is that they're still experimenting maybe, but your offense isn't necessarily the problem in that sense. I mean, they ended up scoring 2 goals in that game.
Well, why do you punish Teo Hernandez then?
Well, that's a great question. But that's part of the experimenting, I guess. The defense as a whole was in shambles.
Mm-hmm.
So it's I don't know.
Teo's one of the best players in the world, in my opinion. And you benched him for like a full 60 minutes in that game. I don't really understand why Teo's not playing.
Loud too.
I mean, it's shocking to me. Unless he was.
Michael says they said that he wasn't fit.
Okay. All right, that makes more sense then. All right. Richards actually finally had a good game for Crystal Palace in a tie. He played 90 minutes. This is quick MLS update. Christian Ramirez got an assist. DeJuan Jones got a goal. McGlynn for Philadelphia got an assist. Maguire got an assist. Kellen Costa got an assist. And Logan Farrington for Dallas got a goal. Thank you, Matt Doyle, for bringing that to my attention. Good for him. Also, Balogun. Oh, I do have it here. No, this is Balogun. Balogun went 65 and another pooper. A real stinker for Monaco. I don't know how many more stinkers he's going to have, but let's be honest. They play possession ball, and that doesn't really benefit Balogun. He likes to play through quick transition ball through the lanes. They're not playing that way. So he's going to probably continue to have stinkers. Might it have been better for him to stay at Rennes? Might have been. Where they play transition ball. Sabi is injured for Le Havre. Maloney, 41 minutes, kicked in the back twice, I guess, right?
Yes. Yeah, I wanted to bring this up because everybody's like, so apparently Edgar said that Maloney was going to be included in this window, but then the injury happened and he got replaced with Aiden Morris. That's what Tax said that Edgar said. And
that's true. I agree.
So yeah, so he took a knee to the back twice in under a minute.
Yep.
And yeah, I'm sure it stings and I'm sure it hurts. And after the international window, I bet you he'll be starting again.
Did you hear the microphone, what he said to the guy?
No.
When he kneed him in the back the second time?
No.
He said, "You broke my spinal cord. You fucking asshole." Or was that Arnold Schwarzenegger? I don't know.
Yeah, but whatever. Austrian, German.
Well, same accent generally.
Yeah,
I'll speak German. Austrians do too. It's not like Austrians speak Austrian. They speak German. All right. My son talking to my mom this weekend. She's like, where's Toto Wolff from? Toto Wolff is general manager of Mercedes Formula One team. I was like, is he German? I said, no, he's Austrian. She's like, oh, that's just Lower Germany. Lower Germany. All right. Derek loves Matt Doyle. I only met him once. I don't know if I love him anymore.
In a bathroom, though.
No, we met him in the hotel room. Not for sex or anything, but for the podcast.
You guys can say, we keep digging it there, Dick. You keep digging.
That was like, what, 2012?
Oh, we met him in his hotel room.
That's 2012, right?
Yeah.
With
Jonah Freeman.
Jonah Freeman, yeah. And we did their podcast with them. That was fun. 2012. Yeah. That's how old we are, people.
The good old days.
We're out there roaming around in 2012, 2010.
When we were ghosted by Lawless.
Back then we were, but he likes us now. I don't know if he likes us, but he endures us, both in private and public. All right. Then we got McKennie big old chubby McKennie went out there and played 23 minutes for Juventus. Dude still needs to. The reason he didn't make this lineup for the national team roster, right?
No.
Juventus reported to the U.S. men's national team that he is still in preseason form and unfit to play more than 25 minutes. I mean, really? Come on, McKennie. What happened to the dedication from last season's start? Where did that go, dude? You sitting home eating Twinkies and drinking champagne? Get ready for the fucking season, dude. Come on. I'm saying, Brett.
I was perfectly fine with Weston not being included in this window, to tell you the truth. But yeah, I mean, come on, Wes. We need nice, fit, sharp Wes again.
BMR, I'm not going to get canceled for fat shaming because this isn't fat shaming. The dude's a professional fucking athlete. If his job were freaking the hot dog contest and he were 280 pounds, I'd be like, that dude could probably eat some hot dogs. That's not his job. His job is to be in shape. And here we are over the offseason while his agents are out busting. Did you see that fucking photo of him? The Juventus recent photo?
Mm-mm.
It's the fattest I've ever seen Juventus. McKennie.
The whole of Juventus. No.
At Juventus.
Anyways, guys. Bmar, Derek can't fat shame because
I'm fat.
He can't fat shame somebody who's fat.
I'm fat. I'm allowed to talk about fat people because I'm fat.
The point though, as far as scarfing down hot dogs and stuff like that, you notice that the guys who are the best at food eating competitions are actually very fit for the most part.
Oh yeah. Joey Chestnut. He's not fat. Yeah.
I forgot the Japanese guy's name, but there's actually a little documentary about him where they showed his daily routine prepping for a food eating competition, and he goes to this place and he eats this ginormous bowl of ramen. He eats nine of those things, and he eats this whatever flavored ice thing afterwards, and then he works out for 6 hours a day.
Yeah,
I mean the guy was ripped.
But
he can inhale the hot dogs.
Apparently. All the fat. What is that called? Sports food competitors, food competitioners. I don't know what it is, but they don't do shit. It's all the skinny guys or the medium-sized guys that do well in sports eating, competitive eating. I don't know what the fuck it. All right, whatever. It's not a sport really, but whatever. And then we got Weah was injured, so he didn't play. Cardoso, we already talked about. Zahir Oleslam for St. Truden went 90 in a tie at St. Truden. Paxton Aronson, best player on the field, in my opinion, for 89 minutes in a win for Utrecht. Taylor Booth's out of favor, dude. They got some other guys they like money. He's in the 18, didn't even get a minute.
Yeah.
Anthony Fontana in the 18 for Zwolle, didn't play. Again, still in Holland there. And then we got Tillman, 86, an assist, player of the match, according to people voting. Ricardo Pepe, 55, and De Jong is down. De Jong is down. 1, 2, 3, 4. He's out. He's done.
Right before an international window. I don't think Pepe's going to see much playing time still. I don't think he's down for long.
I don't think De Jong got that injured, and I'm not making light and making a joke about anyone getting injured. That was a joke, but I don't wish that on anybody. I don't think he looks that injured. So this is a big opportunity for Pepe. Man, did he have some opportunities, and he hammered one against the bar.
Oh, yeah, he ripped the bar, yeah.
Absolutely ripped that shot, and you could hear it. It was like ding as it went off on live TV. And
So
then
I was going to say this, you were bringing Ledesma up at this perfect time because I was going to say this is my first time really sitting down and watching Ledesma at right back.
Mm-hmm.
And I've never, I don't know if other people liked his performance or whatever, but I've never seen a right back play so passively.
Yep, pedestrian.
It was always like, I got the ball, no, I'm passing it back to you.
Mm-hmm.
It was like he was just a body on the pitch that played defense from time to time.
Mm-hmm. Nope, I think that's an apt description. He's been better in other games, but this game, very pedestrian. Very. And, he's got to realize he's getting opportunity here. Maybe they're telling him to be very passive.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I know you never played right back in your life, but just
well,
down a little bit.
The back gets a lot more leeway, it seems like, than the right back on this team. And that's understandable because that left back is connecting with Tillman, who plays left midfield. So I don't know. I don't know what the deal is, but it sure looked like he was hanging back sometimes when he didn't have to hang back. He didn't get into the attack at all. But at least Richie Ledesma was getting a chance. And let's see how he evolves through the season. I think that's important to let him grow into this. Remember, it's been a long time since Richie Ledesma has played regular football.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just being a midfield at heart, midfielder at heart, you would have imagined that he would have at least tried to make forward passes or place a cross into the box. But it was just like he's out wide, they play him the ball, and he plays it right back into the defensive midfielder area.
He didn't have a lot of crosses. I agree with that.
He didn't do much of anything.
No, he played very conservatively. I hope to see more from him. If he really, really, really wants to play for this team long term, he's going to have to make a bigger dent. Like, he's not Dest, so I'm not expecting that from him. But, I mean, he's not going to dribble through three guys, right, like Dest does. But I do expect him. And again, we don't know what he's been told to do. Like,
I would accept a forward probing ball at this point.
Well, but you like probing, Brett.
Hey.
All right, Bello, 40 minutes.
Probed.
40 minutes for Bello for Lask and their loss. I thought Bello was like the best left back we had. Nope, not so much for Lask. Apparently, they don't think so because he didn't even start. But anyhow, no offense to anybody.
Larry's been on the Bello train recently.
No offense to everyone that loves Bello. I'm just saying, listen, you're playing in Austria. Austria. Okay? Austria. Enough said.
Even Soto finds playing time there. Come on.
No, he doesn't. But let's be fair to Soto. That dude's is injured as a guy who fell off a building and broke every bone in his body because he is injured again. That back thing, whatever back thing he's got, that's just that guy cannot get over that. Maybe he should just retire and find another way to work because he's been healthy for like 3 games total in his whole Klagenfurt career. All right. Then we got Klagenfurt. All right. So we got, I got to say it like that. I can't say it normal. Then we got Johan Gomez, 30 minutes in a loss for Braunschweig. And then that was, let's see, Dominic Downs, 90 minutes and a goal. And a goal for Dominic Downs. And a lot of people out there shouting out Dominic Downs and a win for Köln, not Cologne. You can say Cologne if you want. I'm just saying in Germany, they say Köln. All right. And then we got a defensive midfielder, Santiago Castaneda, went 90 minutes for Paderborn. This is also in the lower leagues, 2 Bundesliga. He's 19 years old, Santiago Castaneda. So somebody you just kind of keep an eye on, maybe. He's a young player starting for a 2 Bundesliga team regularly. EPB, Eric Palmer Brown rode the pine for 90. for Panathinaikos.
Still glad to see him on the bench at least.
At least he made the bench. Lund went 46 for Palermo in a tie. Sergio Aguayo, 30 minutes for Pachuca, by the way. That's pretty nice. He's 21 years old. He's an attacker playing for Pachuca. Your boy, Alex Mendez, is in the 18 for Juarez. Didn't play. That was versus Cal's Chivas. Cal went 46, an assist, and a win for Chivas. The only reason he got yanked at halftime with a couple other players is they were already up like 4-0 or 3-0 or something like that. They're like, pull out all the starters.
If only PSV would learn from that.
Yeah, Juarez is, they're horrible. Juarez is horrible. And that's the thing. Mendez is on a horrible team, and he didn't see a minute. One of the worst teams in Mexico. Brendan Vasquez went 69. Nice for Monterrey. He did score a goal on a PK. They still lost against Frankie Amaya's Toluca. And Frankie Amaya got some extra time minutes in that win over Monterrey for Toluca. And then finally and lastly, and to end the night, the magical Christian Kappas went 30 minutes for Viking in Norway in a tie. So that is it. That is your Yanks, the full Yanks Abroad report. Isn't that skinnier thing that, listen, it's a good report that Tat gives, but ours is much more robust, right? Ours
is girthier.
It's girthier. You can get a good grip on ours. Like, we're a D cup. Tax report is more like a A or a B cup, right?
Yeah.
All right. No offense to Tac. I think, by the way, I am a firm lover of the B cup. I think B cup is just fine. You don't need to be bigger than that.
As long as it's a firm B cup.
I'm not a saggy one. I'm not a boop guy. All right. I'm not a boop guy. And that's because I grew up in Germany, and whenever we went to like the Berlin pool, there were lots of women not wearing any tops. So we didn't think anything of it growing up as kids. We're like, oh yeah, women's got boobs. They're nice. We like them.
Derek's walking by, go, nice to meet you.
What is that movie with Jim Carrey where he does that? With the chick that's breastfeeding her baby?
Me, Myself, and Irene, probably.
Me, Myself, and Irene. Yeah, that's a great movie. By the way, for the almost 300 of you here, make sure you like, subscribe, share it with your grandma, and reach over and tap your stepsister gently on the bosom. The
one that Derek was talking about was Me, Myself, and Irene, but Liar Liar is a good one too, in the sense that he's in the elevator with the chick with the boobs about to pop right out of her thing. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
There's a whole thing there too. Blooper reel's hysterical too.
Somebody said, you mean waterboating? I think it's called motorboating.
Motorboating, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
He corrected himself. Yeah.
That's okay.
Yeah.
Hmm.
All right.
Alrighty.
Now that we're over with the Yanks Abroad section, let's talk about something else.
Okay. Let's do it, Brett.
Talk about, yes, indeed.
I'm really excited about this next topic we're about to talk about.
You would? Because you attacked U.S. men's national team's Twitter handle today.
I did attack it, Brett, because it deserved it.
U.S. men's national team's Twitter handle says, with the search for a new head coach continuing, Mikey Varis will serve as the interim head coach for this upcoming window.
BMR got it by it. That is my best Matthew McConaughey. Yeah, so this isn't like I'm freaking out or anything about like maybe the fact that Pochettino might not be the coach, although it is starting to tickle the underside of my nutsack that he might not be. It's like, hey, little dude, why are you tickling the underside of my nutsack?
At least do this when you're doing that, talking about it, okay?
Oh, I actually grabbed my nutsack while I was saying that, but I should have done this, right?
Exactly.
I was physically doing it to myself. So what I'm saying is...
Thank goodness the camera stops your boobs, apparently.
My man moves. All right, but you're right. it is a little concerning that we still have nothing. And then we get this from U.S. Soccer. Like, they couldn't have worded this better. With the search for the new head coach continuing, what? I thought everybody in the press and mainstream media had already said that Poach is pretty much in the fucking ball sack. He is as good as 2 testicles in that sack, and that he is good to go. It's just details. You couldn't say something else like, oh, well, you know, while we work on getting the details sorted out for the U.S. Soccer, new U.S. Soccer manager, Mikey Varis will serve as the interim coach. You didn't have to say his name, Poach. You didn't have to say anything. You could just say, hey, we're still working things out with the manager's position. So until we get that sorted out, Mikey Varis, they didn't have to say Poach's name into getting any legal issues. They could just say we're working on it, and that's it. You don't have to say we're still searching. We're still searching?
Yeah.
I'm sorry, there's a big difference, Brett, between, hey, we're working some things out, and, oh, by the way, we're still searching for a new coach. What the fuck is that? What janitor did they have type that up and put on U.S. Soccer?
Yeah.
You tell me.
Well, they didn't want to flat out. You and I think are the only two that sat there and said, yeah, we're not going to get hyped about this until the ink is dry.
Mm-hmm.
We're saying, because I don't trust U.S. Soccer enough to think that all the media came out. I brought this up because back on August 15th, yeah, that's like 17, 18 days ago. Fabrizio says Pochettino becomes a new U.S. men's national team manager leading the U.S. to World Cup 2026.
Yeah.
So we're getting this type of topic thrown out at us from all corners of the internet,
right,
in the media. But nothing, and it most likely he may very well sign. And
what date?
I'm just going to hold off. This is the 15th of August.
Oh my God!
So I'm just saying, it's when you have this type of stuff thrown out there, and all of a sudden, U.S. Soccer's saying, "Well, the search is continuing," and blah blah blah. It's if it was all but a surefire thing, everything was done, they just haven't signed on the dotted line because of some issue with Chelsea, then why is U.S. Soccer still throwing out the search is still continuing? I don't know. I don't trust U.S. Soccer. I don't trust them at all.
I don't know if I don't trust their posters, as Guacamole United says. Derek, you're good at language. USSF isn't good at much of anything except holding Famexafoot's hand. And their language is atrocious because legally they could actually just say what I said, which is, hey, you know what? We're still working on some things when it comes to the U.S. manager's role, period. However, Mikey Varis will serve as the interim head coach. They don't have to say we're still searching. The search of a new head coach continues. What? Yeah. I thought the search was kind of really focused in right now. So you're basically saying, hey, we're all those people talking about Pochettino. Nah, we're still searching. That's fucking a dumb thing to put in a post. These got to be the dumbest fuckers to ever run an organization that don't know anything about legalese and law and what they can say to not freak the fan base out, because that's what they did with a lot of people. They freaked them out. They're like, oh my God, I thought my dad said this to me. He's like, oh, I thought Pochettino was the manager. I'm like, no, Dad, I don't know. Based on that post, who the fuck knows? Yeah. Right? It's just ridiculous. And if they're that insecure that they got to post that instead of saying, hey, there's some things we've got to still work out with the manager's position. But until then, Mikey Varis will serve as the interim head coach. But no, we're all the way back to searching for one. How crazy is that? Why would you post that? Unless it's true, Brett. That's my problem with it. Is it true?
Well, again, that's the thing, is that it kind of leads into the fact that maybe the talks have fallen through. I'm not saying that has, And, Poach might be announced 3 days from now. But
no. All right. How safe do you have to be? All right. So you're on a date with a girl. The whole night's been great. Go back to your apartment. She's like, listen, I really want to have sex with you. And you're like, are you sure? Are you really, really, really sure? Yes. Are you really sure? Are you really sure? Because I just want to make sure you're sure. Yes. Here, look, I'm taking off all my clothes. Let's get it on. I just want to be sure. No. Come on, U.S. Soccer. Fucking A, dude. What is your problem? Why do you got to be so careful? If you've kind of already gotten the bag, you can still post something that's legally clear for you to post where you're not committing terrorism to anybody. All right. And still, but no, you've gone all the way back to we're still searching. What the fuck is that? That's crazy shit to do. Well, now you're freaking out the whole fan base.
Have you seen the flyers that get posted up at colleges and stuff that say something along the lines of like, Jim is drunk, Jenny is drunk, they have sex, Jenny could not consent to sex, and it's basically saying,
nor could Jim.
Well, that's the point. Being is that the U.S. Soccer's looking at this going like, well, I don't want to flat out say yeah. I want to make sure that Poach is consenting to it.
They didn't have to say yeah. All they had to say is, hey, some shit's being worked on. And here's your intern coach, Mikey Varas. Don't say, by the way, we're still searching for a coach. We're still searching for our next girlfriend. And it's ridiculous, dude. It's so ridiculous. Yeah, and Jim goes to jail. I've seen the poster. Yeah.
And then I'm confused. Is Poach drunk? In this situation, yes. Both U.S. Soccer and Poach are both drunk. So
something's not right. At least the people hitting the keyboards to put out the Twitters at U.S. Soccer, something is definitely broken. They haven't consulted their legal team. They've now made it look like no discussions with Poach have taken place, and they're still on the search. Whether that might be true now, I don't know. Is it? I don't know. I don't know based on that post, because they could have just said, hey, we're working on shit, and until then, Mike Avaris is in the house. Enjoy. That's not what they said, though. They said, hey, while the search goes on for a U.S. manager, what the fuck? Really?
Well, yeah. As Pete's talking about this announcement, this is according to this report, Pochettino will be involved from outside with this camp. Maybe this explains the excellent roster with coaching called up, etc. Yeah, isn't this sort of along the lines of what U.S. Soccer did with Greg in that sense? Like the Gold Cup, Greg's going to be involved from the outside.
Yeah,
There's
I don't know.
Talk with the Nations League and stuff like that. I don't know.
I don't know who to believe right now.
Positively leading into the fact that he's going to get called in, because this is the same step.
After that U.S. Soccer post, after shit that Doug McIntyre and so many other morons have said, it's just, sorry, Doug, but
yeah.
it's just really, harsher. I know, it's just really hard to believe anything at this point, because I did read that report too that said Poach is going to be, involved from the outside. Who'd that come from? Who? Mm-hmm. Oh, no. Poach was definitely involved. That's why Maloney was an original pick that was, until he was injured, was taken off. And then Aiden Morris was put on. Okay. I don't know who to believe anymore. I don't, Brett. I seriously don't. On the mainstream media and from whoever is out there.
We'll come back to that, Fumar.
So
Derrico's blackmail, right?
Yeah, I mean, according to Jeff Carlisle, yeah, for sure. Absolutely, BMR. Yeah. Maybe it's still a search until the contract is signed. No, you don't have to use the word search, Fumar. You really don't. Listen, I passed enough of the LSATs and took enough law courses to know some of the basics of law. And even if you're just someone who never even pursued a law degree, you would know some of the basic things. And you could have easily worded that to not make it look like there was still a search on, but you're working on stuff. We're working on stuff. But until then,
forget about it.
Hey, we're working on some shit here. But until that, you got some Mikey fucking virus. All right? Enjoy. That's all they had to fucking say. They don't have to say a search is still on. That makes it sound like nothing's going on or has gone on. Are there any real talks going on? Like they're still searching. Like, you know, hey, Jurgen Klinsmann, are you still out there? Bob Bradley, we're still. Oh, Dolo, Marco Polo, Dolo. Yeah, that's what it makes it look like we're still doing.
Trundle. I mean, so I'm kind of surprised nobody's made the meme of with Trundlo as the Ricola type of
Ricola. Yeah.
Trundlo. I don't know. When you were saying Dolo, it's all I could think about was a Ricola commercial there.
I don't know what's going on, and nobody does. That's the crazy thing. You can talk to Pete, you can talk to Tack, and we all have somebody we know who knows. They don't know either. Like, this is a shut down, closed situation at U.S. Soccer right now. Nobody's leaking dick. Nothing. So, I don't know what's going on. I really don't. I wish I did, because it would make me feel better if I knew more. I don't know more. And we've said this on the show. Dom, when we don't know shit, we don't say shit because we don't know anything and we just admit it. We're just like, we don't know anything. We don't. But that creepy ass post by U.S. Soccer is going to creep some people out who are less knowledgeable fans, or even if you're knowledgeable, like you and I are, and Pete and Tact and all the people that watch this show, we're like, what's going on? Why would you post that? Why would you still say the search is on? What the fuck are you guys doing? Nobody talked to the janitor before he posted that and gave him some clear language to use in the post?
The janitor, yeah.
I mean, come on. All right.
The internet's best down in the basement.
For the 305 of you who are now, make sure you like, subscribe, share it with your grandmother. Reach over and just gently touch your stepsister's breast if she's open to it. If she's open to it.
They're going to say shoulder.
No, I'm going to move for the breast. We're moving on. We're
about 2 hours into the show. I mean, you got to make a move if you're going to make a move.
I mean, we're doing some foreplay here, right? Foreplay. All right. And make sure she agrees to it, right?
Yeah.
And then after she agrees to it, take your hand away and say, baby, you know what? For me, the search is still on.
Yeah.
The search is still on.
You gotta leave her one. You gotta leave her one more, right?
I know I just fondled your breast, but the search for me, it's still on. All right, CC Heat says for $10, Charlie Davies puzzled by Gio's September U.S. men's national team call-up. No, not again, fucking Davies. All right, Gio Dortmund playing stats. We know what they are. We know what they are. All right. He's played 10 minutes so far this season.
Yeah.
What are we quoting here? Like his preseason stuff? Listen, the fact is, we're now in the main season, and he's played 10 minutes. And yes, there was a red card that generally kept him out of the offense as they decided to settle for a tie after putting Aubameyang, what the fuck they put in? They put in some offensive players. One of them was not Reina. It's early in the season. I said this before. Let's give it some time to work itself out. But at the same time, Brett and I, Pete, Cat, we're all done. Play or fucking shut up at this point. That's all I got to say. Reina's got to go out there, put up or shut up. That's how it's going to be this season for us. Yeah, go ahead and play it.
Okay.
It's short.
Find it funny.
Wait a minute. Did he just sound English there? I find it funny.
I almost wondered if the audio was messed up there when you clicked. I clicked play.
I find it funny. Go ahead.
Right, indeed.
Do you find it funny that Manchester United are going through these issues now all of a sudden with Ten Hag. Nothing's been agreed on, signed with Pochettino, and this is the only club that apparently Pochettino would go to outside of the Real Madrid's. What?
Well, he's got a good point.
Would it be possible?
I mean, it's possible that Ten Hag gets fucking hammered, and after that interview he just did this weekend, after losing to Liverpool, that was horrendous. That was a horrendous interview. He looked like a clown. So, I mean, if you're watching that from the management's viewpoint, you're like, he's bragging about all the silverware he's won? Really? You guys were horrible in the Premier League last season. Horrible. You were horrible. Your players are making incredibly dumb mistakes, is what the reporter said. Like, this is an actual real reporter saying, because Ten Hag's like, oh, yeah, so we're making all the same mistakes again? What do you mean? Explain it to me. And the guy just laid it out. A, B, C, D. And Ten Hag's like, well, I'm sorry for you. You're sorry for him? Because he just pointed out A, B, and C, D, which are all true, that you're playing out of the back and you get mugged all the time playing out of the back, yet you continue to do it. And, he went through B, C, and D, too. And yet all Ten Hag had to say is like, I'm really sorry for you because you're an idiot. He didn't say you're an idiot, but that's
basically said, sucks to be you, nerd.
Yeah, you must be a fucking moron. Sorry for you. And yeah, I mean, this can't go on for very much longer. Are they tickling Pochettino's man tits? Maybe. They might be. They might be saying, hey, Poch, you can go coach those losers over at US Soccer. You can come over here to a big, massive club.
Over here? You mean?
Well, that depends on what Poch thinks of the roster, right? At Man U. He may look at it and go, yeah, I can do more with that than this turd they have there now. This turdsicle. I can do better than that turdsicle. And so I'm going to get paid a lot more at Man United than I'm going to get paid at US Soccer. So I don't know. I get more time off at US Soccer to travel the world and do what I want to do. But maybe I got something to prove yet in the Premier League at Manchester United. If this Ten Hag doofus, which is what he is in interviews, he's a complete doofus. He's completely oblivious to anything wrong with his team that he won't even talk about. As far as he's concerned, Manchester United are like one of those top trophy-winning clubs, which I don't know. Has he watched his team play recently? You would think he has because he coaches the team.
I mean, they haven't really been that way since Sir Alex left.
Yeah, it's been crap since Sir Alex left. That team's been garbage. So, yeah, anyhow, point being, are Man United tickling Pochettino's nuts? Do we really have a firm grasp on Pochettino's testicles? Is he really there based on the post today from US Soccer saying we're still searching? Where's the clarity?
It was announced, like I said, about 17 days ago, that Poch was going to be the next US men's national team coach.
By
the media, Fabrizio. But my point being is, even if that hadn't been smoothed out with Chelsea and everything like that, and they figured out how to deal with this, whatever the issue really is. I mean, outside the fact that he's still on payroll with them, how could they not have rectified it in 17 days and signed the fucking contract at this point? So I feel like something. I'm tinfoiling hat here. I feel like something might be there in Davies' comment here.
Maybe, although I don't think Davies knows shit.
I'm not saying he does know shit. I'm just saying, but this is the type of shit that you start thinking about.
It seems like there's something wrong, and of course you can say, "Well, that's the Chelsea contract; they got to work out." Well, if that's the case, in your post, if you're US Soccer, you don't say we're still searching. You say, "Hey, we got some things to work on with the US manager thing, but until then, you get Mikey Virus," and that's the end of the post. You don't need to say we're still searching. That's the thing that's driving me nuts. Why do you post that? Are you completely a doofus? Because there's nothing what I just said you could post that's legally a problem to post on X, on Twitter. It's not going to get you any trouble. You haven't mentioned Poach's name. You're just saying, hey, we're still working out the U.S. soccer manager's position. Again, I feel like I'm saying this over and over again.
We're trying to hammer out the details and fixing things with the guy. Wink,
no,
wink.
You don't even have to make that. You don't have to say that. You don't have to say that. You just have to say, hey, listen, we're still working some things out on the U.S. manager's position, but until then, Mikey Varas is coaching the team.
I was going to say, the only difference between what you said and what I said is with a guy. So,
well, you were more specific. You don't even have to get that specific.
The only level of specificity there is that I added a guy.
Yep. No, don't add it. Don't add it.
You're right. That doesn't take away the option of possibly having a female coach instead. You're right.
Well, you never know.
Right there. We don't want to close that door yet.
Yep. All right. Not going to do it because I take Emma right now.
I think anybody at this point? Not anybody. Okay, that's a
no, but
it's a crazy statement to make. But I just make a fucking move at this point.
I think Emma could coach the men. Honestly, harder than Greg did.
Sure.
Harder, more demanding than Greg did. Honestly, without being their best friend or holding their hands or sucking their cock in the fucking bathrooms between periods, between halves. Yeah. Not that Greg did that. Allegedly.
Well, we've seen the Truly commercial. I mean, probably did.
That's the chunky ass McKennie in that Truly commercial. All right, for the 310 of you here tonight, thank you very much, by the way, for showing up on a holiday, a national holiday, Labor Day. So happy Labor Day to everybody. We do appreciate it. Make sure you like, subscribe, share it with your grandma, and gently reach over and tell your stepsister you love her. All right, what next, Brett?
Was that all we needed to talk about this video?
Yep.
Okay. Well, it just takes us right into the actual roster itself. And one thing I do want to mention here, or actually, let's just start with the actual roster. We'll go into that in a second. Okay, pull it up.
Here we go. Ethan Horvath, Diego Cochin, Patrick Schulte, and Matt Turner.
Here's a big question. Do we need Matt Turner and Ethan Horvath in this roster?
No.
We could have one. Oh, here's the other question, too. Do we need either of those two? If we want a seasoned veteran with U.S. men's national team, you could have thought about possibly bringing Zach Steffen instead. I mean, we've seen the Horvath, we've seen the Turner of recent.
I went through the Steffen numbers for the season in detail.
Yeah.
He had a good Leagues Cup. I'll give him credit for that. So that's recent. Numbers aren't good. The stats aren't good. I hate to be a stats guy, but he's on the bottom, lower level for Colorado in all the stats this season for goalkeepers. Like the bottom 20.
So I guess that takes me back to my other point, though, in that sense, is that do we really need both of the two seasoned vets?
I mean, you could have bring Gaga, but Gaga's team, League One, does not stop for the FIFA window.
Well, I'm not even saying that. Do we need both of them, period? We need bring one of them, and then you have Cochin and Schulte as the younger players that are trying to get experience within the international system.
It's training camp. Bring 4. What the hell? And we just hired a new goalkeeper coach. Probably wants to hang out with as many goalkeepers as possible. We just hired him. He's from where is he coming from? Man City? Can't remember. Top coach. Really a top coach. So this is a good opportunity.
Man City, then you already knew Zach Steffen, right? That's why he's not there?
I think that Steffen is just basically based on the season, MLS season, which has been mediocre. While Leagues Cup, I think he played really well. Listen, I
was cracking a joke there, Derek. But
I get it, but as a guy picking the team, you can still say, I'm going to pick him based on his hot Leagues Cup play. I know he's not having a great season in MLS based on the beginning of the season, which was so bad, it's dragging down his numbers for the entire season. But based on what I saw at Leagues Cup as a manager, you can still say, I'm picking him. But he's not going to get the pick. And I do like Cochin being there because he's the only guy who can play with his feet. And we need to, even though he's very young, at least acclimate him to the club. And also just say, we value you. I think that's important.
The team, not the club. And I guess it's Liverpool, not Man City.
Oh, it's at Liverpool? Okay. I couldn't remember, obviously, which is why I was just guessing. All right. Slonina clearly unhappy about being left off the U.S. men's national team roster. Good. A chip on the shoulder is a good thing that all our guys need more of. Deeper we get, the more competition for places there will be that will hopefully bring less entitlement and more competition on the roster. But does Gaga understand that his club team is not off during the FIFA window? Like, so, League One does not shut down. I think he might want to stay with his club and continue to play. I don't think it's a good idea for him to leave his League One team in the middle of the beginning of the season and miss 2 games and go play where he's basically the 4th goalkeeper and never gets to play anyhow.
So I guess to that point, though, Derek, are you saying that Gaga should just assume that he should never be called up at all this entire season? Because will there ever be an international window, a FIFA window that League One is off for that he could get called up for? I mean, I feel like at that point you're basically just saying, hey, put your national team aspirations on hold while you compete in League One.
Shouldn't be in League One, probably.
Well, again, the problem there was that he signed with Chelsea.
Right. And they loaned him to a League One team instead of like a First Division Belgium team or a First Division Holland team.
Or
Strasbourg, where they sent some other dipsicle.
They sent the other young, the Belgian goalkeeper that was from Genk or whatever. They sent him over there. So
Yep. I don't know. Circumstance. Live with it. That's all I got to say to Gaga at this point. Because otherwise, you're giving the other backup goalkeeper 2 games to take your job while you're out riding pine for the U.S. men's national team. That's all I'm going to say.
I'd accept a call-up if they guaranteed me a match.
Nope. No guarantee if he goes.
That's what I'm saying. No, that's what I'm saying, though.
I mean, that's not going to happen.
I know. But I'm just saying, if they wanted to get a look at him and they said, hey, we'll play you against Canada, then yeah, I'd be like, okay, cool, I'd accept it. But to your point, you're playing with your livelihood there. So pick your poison, I guess.
Matt Turner's going to start all the games. So why go? I'm glad that he's upset about it, though, Gaga.
I don't necessarily understand what he says here, quite frankly.
Do it
to
prove yourself right. Like, play well to prove yourself right. You're basically saying, I'm going to continue to do my thing, and when I do my thing...
What's the do it to, though? Prove yourself right, I can understand, but the do it to.
It's all one
Do it to prove yourself right. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm getting it now. I was putting the wrong emphasis on the wrong syllables. But do it too. Putting the pause there, like as if there's like a comma, an imaginary comma or something like that. I'm on now. I got it. Just took me 45 times to read it.
Do it too, because everyone else is doing it.
Yeah.
All right, defenders. Good to see Marlon Fossey in here.
Mm-hmm.
This made me think something else is going on. Maybe there is some poach influence because we haven't caught a testicle sniff of Marlon Fossey on this team or even in the bare minimum mentions. So this is good. Lund, not surprising. McKenzie, slightly. Not surprising, but
not really.
Okay. That's Tim Ream, one of the MLS guys on here. Chris Richards, of course. Joe Scally, of course.
Let's go back to that real quick. Because we have an MLS player on the team, Tim Ream. Clearly, it means he sucks now. Isn't that the narrative at that point?
No.
If somebody goes from MLS to Europe, they automatically get really good in the minds of Euro snubs.
He's just
But
old.
If the player goes back to MLS, they suck.
He's just old.
I'm making fun of the narrative.
I know.
I have to keep explaining these things, it seems like.
Austin Trusty and then Caleb Wiley. Yeah.
And Trusty's move to Celtic, man.
Yeah.
That was a choice.
And then he was on the bench and didn't get any minutes, but they did move CCV to right back for the last game. That's weird. But I do get the feeling.
Were they playing a 3 back, though?
4.
How in the world would you ever consider moving CCV to right back?
I don't know.
Well, Trusty just got there. Maybe that never think.
I really don't know. Maybe they're preparing to move Trusty to left back. Or left center back. So we'll see. Yeah, we'll see. I think he'll play a lot, obviously. He will. Trusty will play a lot for Celtic. He just got there, so of course they're not throwing him on the field right away. Yeah, it's fine.
It's nice to see Trusty get an opportunity, and his fellow teammate CCV was not called up at all.
Yeah, I think that was also a rest thing from what I remember.
Okay. I was going to say, do you think he played himself out of a call up with the Copa?
I think Mikey said that's rest too. So, yeah.
It's like I can understand Jedi because Jedi plays 90 minutes every game for club.
Oh, yeah.
CCV needed a rest from like the 30 minutes that he caught in Copa.
I don't know. But rest for Jedi, rest for, McKennie is fitness. Jedi is just a rest. That I believe, because Jedi, he plays 90 minutes every game almost. So
I like some of the new names included here. So
it's
good to see.
Midfielders, Aronson, Cardoso, Luca De La Torre, which is surprising. Luca De La Torre hasn't really been playing. He's got the coach has come out and said he's not part of my plans. Team came out and posted shit, said he's not part of our plans either. We're going to sell him. Didn't get sold. Didn't get loaned. Injured. Fuck. He seems.
The difference between him and Weston at this point, though, is that Luca's in shape. He can play more than 25 minutes. So I know Weston can play more than 25 minutes too. I'm going off of the report that you said earlier.
Yeah, well, the report was that Maloney made this team, but was taken off last second, and then Aiden Morris was added.
No, the report that I was talking about was when you were talking about how Juve said that Weston is only in shape enough for 25 minutes.
Correct. Yep.
So, yeah.
Yep. That's what they said. And seeing Weston this weekend, I go, 10 pounds at least. 10 pounds.
I think it's safe to look at though and say, well, Aiden was brought in because of Maloney. Obviously, that's what they announced, or that's what Edgar said at least. And it makes sense because it's gonna not like for like, but position for position, if you will.
Did you see that photo of McKennie?
You asked me that about an hour and a half ago.
Yeah,
I have not.
It's the chunkiest I've ever seen him face wise. I don't know if that reflects the rest of his body, but that's the chunkiest I've ever seen his face. So, Gio Reyna, Malik Tillman, all good. Yunus Musa, fine. This is
anybody from the midfield missing though? Really?
Well, obviously
not injured.
No, nobody that's not injured. I don't think, except no. I was hoping Maloney would be on here, and apparently he was slated to be on here and was injured. Kicked in the back twice. So
it was funny. Not funny, I guess. But looking at how he plays with Heidenheim, when they go into the attack, he slots back as the center back of it, like a 3-back almost.
Mm-hmm.
Like the two center backs kind of part the way, and Maloney kind of pinches back in on the attack. And then oddly enough, on the defense, he pinches up a more because obviously everybody's getting back. But I really do think him as a viable center back would be a good option.
It's almost like the old, well, not totally at all, but okay, bad comparison. calling it the Beckenbauer role, but with much more limitation. He's kind of an extra center back that plays midfield and will get up into the attack on defense, but really hangs back quite a bit during possession, like just barely in front of the two center backs. We said this many times here. He is the ultimate destroyer. If you need a destroyer, it's Maloney.
They kind of go into almost like a 3-4-3 in the attack.
Oh, he could.
Then goes back to like a 4, whate4, 4-4-2 or 4-3-3 or whatever at that point.
He could certainly play center back for us too, which we should not at all, along with Tanner Tessman, throw out the window. I think both of those guys could be center backs. And with our situation at center back, yes. Let's give it a try occasionally. Balogun, okay. Pepe, I mean, we already talked about Balogun not having a great game again. It's really because the system Monaco runs isn't really in his bailiwick. Pepe, Pulisic, Sargent, and Wright, all good picks. All make sense. I got no complaints. I can't think of anybody else that needs to be here.
I guess Brennan Aaronson's probably not going to be in the midfield. He's probably going to be a wing option.
Probably.
I'm trying to think of who's missing here because, I mean, why not? I mean, after the decent Olympics, man. I know Paredes is injured, but why not look at somebody like Griffin Yao? So look at our wing option up here. I mean, obviously, again, assume that but Aaronson's going to be a wing option. But we have Haji Wright, we have Christian Pulisic. And then Josh Sargent can pinch in.
I don't think Yao's ready yet. Name me a player.
I'd take off a goalkeeper. Take off Turner. Let's start Horvath.
You could, but if you look at that list of forwards, who are you taking off for Yao?
I'm not taking any of the forwards off. I just mentioned it.
I know. But they obviously want to integrate some goalkeepers. That's a much more problematic area for us right now. Goalkeeper.
Okay.
With the new goalkeeper coach we just hired from Liverpool. So obviously they want to do some work on goalkeeper. I don't think Griffin Yao. Let's see how he does this season. He had a decent season. He had a decent Olympics, except for that last game was horrific.
And who had a good game against Morocco? Really?
Yeah, I know.
I think Paredes was probably the only one that had.
It still doesn't give anybody a pass. I'm sorry, but
no. But I mean, if the whole team is playing like shit,
it's usually the coach, right?
So I'm just saying we're looking at a very thin wing option attack. I mean, again, we have players who can play the role. Haji's playing left striker, I guess if you want to call it that, left wing, left striker for his team. Pulisic, and then at that point, it's got to be Sargent. But again, I think obviously I mentioned earlier, Brendan Aaronson's listed as a midfielder. He's not going to be playing in the midfield, most likely. He'll probably be the first wing option in.
Well, Gio Reyna can play out there wide too.
Tillman could also, I guess.
Yep. So I think Yao's got some more work to do. I think Westerlo is fine, but it's Westerlo. And yes, you had a couple good performances in the Olympics, but when the real shit hit the fan, not good. So I just want to see how Yao develops this season with Westerlo, and then we'll have more info to work with. Right? I don't know. Whatever. All right, for the 310 of you here, make sure you like, subscribe, share it with grandma. Just leave your stepsister alone at this point. She's probably sleeping.
At this point, yeah.
I think we're near the end of the show, right? No? What do we got? What do you got left?
I'm just looking because you kept saying you're like, it's Westerlo, it's Westerlo. So they're currently in fourth. Can you see this? I'm not sure what I'm looking at.
Dude,
they're currently in fourth, but Marlon Fossey's all the way down here in 10th. And we got him.
Way too early in the season. Way too early in the season. We played 3 games, dude. 2 for most. Come on.
I'm just saying you use Westerlo as he's playing for Westerlo. I mean, Westerlo.
Oh, please. Westerlo will be mid-table best by the end of the season. You know that. I know that. Standard Liège will probably be upper half of the table by the end of the season.
Ooh, off by 4 points. They're both mid-table last season.
Doesn't matter. It's fucking Belgium, dude. What are you going to garner from that? I'm talking about basically, we're not comparing Fossey, right, to Yao. They're totally different players. They play totally different positions. I'm just telling you.
No. You're misconstrued my point. Because you're like, he's playing for Westerlo. I mean, Westerlo, come on. And then we talk about giving Fossey a chance. And he plays who's always been, for the last 2 or 3 seasons, always been one position higher than Westerlo.
Okay, we're also talking about a position at back where...
I'm not talking about positions at all, Derek.
Not a whole lot of depth. Not a whole lot of depth. So great. Marlon Fossey gets a chance. Who's never gotten a chance. He didn't even get on the Olympic team. And now we're talking about Yao. Yao has got to compete against Pulisic, Wright. Like, there are a bunch of guys. Aronson, who can play out wide. He's not earned it yet.
But again, you're missing the point I was making, and you're adding on some extra context that has nothing to do with my point.
Probably.
You use Westerlo in the Belgian league as a negative against Yao.
It isn't.
But then you're fine with calling up Fossey, who also plays in Belgium.
No, fuck. Well, none of this shit is equal because it's all based on different positions and what the strengths are in those positions. Like, Fossey's got much less of a battle to make a claim.
The Belgium league's acceptable when we're not talking about striker.
Incorrect.
Belgium's
it's really not about the league, but I am going to mention that he is just playing for Westerlo. And if we're talking about playing in the out wide roles and you're playing in Belgium, that's probably a problem. If you're playing out wide in Belgium and you're a left back or a right back, probably going to give a little bit more leeway because guess what? We're thin in both. That's all I'm saying.
Saying if you're going to bash the Belgium league for one player, it's got to be equivalent.
Not that we're really deep out wide, because we aren't. But you still have Aronson, Haji, Weah when healthy, Pulisic.
Sure.
I mean,
you got Weah's not healthy, and then if there's ever going to be a window to give him a call, give him a look. This would have been it.
Usually,
Weah's going to be healthy.
Up 4. This is more of I think for Fossey, a trial run. We haven't called this guy up ever. Let's just see who he is. Let's bring him in, see who he is.
So aside from a Camp Cupcake, has Yao got an opportunity?
Yao got the Olympics. Just saying, got the Olympics. Who would you like to shove off outside of a goalkeeper if you're not going to shove off a goal? No, you can't shove off a goalkeeper.
I can and I will.
No, you can't.
Yes.
Because it's very obvious to me, U.S. Soccer hiring the new Liverpool former goalkeeper coach to come on to this squad, which I do think is a Pochettino thing, by the way, and I hope it is. Who are you? Because they're very much going to focus on goalkeeping and the problems there. So they're brought forth specifically for that reason. Who are you going to cut from that winger spot to bring on Yao? You're not going to cut any of those guys.
We've got 5 people listed as forwards right now.
You're not.
Yes, I made the comment that Aronson's not going to be a midfielder; he's going to be a winger. So I'm not sure why they misplaced him in that sense. But if we had, again, if you're asking me who would I replace with it, I understand the new goalkeeper coach wants to get acclimated with more goalkeepers. Okay, cool. Bring more goalkeepers into the camp. But then don't make the rest of the team thin.
By the way, Fumar, Sabi's injured. Not even an option. He's injured. He's not getting snubbed. He's injured for Le Havre. So just to fill you in, that's why he's not even been on the roster for their games this season. He's injured. So I don't know when we start paying attention to Sabi. I think that's when he's out there with Le Havre. they're at least mid-table. He's scoring goals and contributing. That's when we start paying attention again, because he did that at points last season. So, all right.
That's all we got. Yeah, that's all we got.
That's it. We're not going to.
Let me just check. Let me check the supers. Make sure I didn't miss anything. I did miss one.
Frank Kassler for $2 just got here. You'll have another hour, right? No.
Yeah, that was 15 minutes ago. Sorry, buddy.
No, we do not. We both work early. I don't know that going to 3 hours is going to be a thing anymore.
We can't make any guarantees that it won't be a thing either, too. We do.
That's true.
When there's an actual topic really worthwhile talking about.
Yep. All right. We do love you guys. We do appreciate you showing up tonight. It's been a 2-hour and almost 30-minute show. There have been upwards of about 330 of you here tonight, which is pretty awesome for a vacation day or a holiday. So happy Labor Day to all of you out there working your fucking nutsacks off day to day to pay the fucking bills. Pay the bills, because that's not easy. You got to go to work every day, work your 40-hour week, bust your balls, pay your bills, raise your kids. It's not easy out there. We know that. I've done it. Brett's doing it. It's tough out there. So we do appreciate all of you that love soccer, but also have a life where that is stressful and complicated. So know that we understand that, because where Brett's going through it now. I'm still going through it, and my kids are out of the house. They're in college. It's still complicated. Life never gets easier. It gets a little easier. It's all degrees, right? Like, it's more complicated when you have kids and all that shit. Right, Brett? Yep. Yeah. So
BMR wants to see if you can tell us the curse word your students used. The one that you're like, that's a good use of, or a good word.
No,
still not.
No, I'm not doing that.
We'll get them eventually, guys.
No, I can't do that. Anyhow, we love you. We will be back on Thursday. I'm not going to quote my kids for my class.
Just don't mention name. Make up a name.
No, dude. People will figure that shit out. I'm not doing that. All right. Like if one person in the class that knows about it sees it, I'll be fired. So no, I'm not doing it. All right. We love you guys. I'm not risking that shit. My job's my job. That's going to be really private. Not talking about my job and any of that shit. It is what it is. Otherwise, we're pretty open here. Otherwise, yeah, about our lives, what we do, what we're facing, our dogs, our kids, the whole nine. And we do love that you follow the show. Until the next time on the Straight Red Card, we will see you Thursday. Good night.
That hurt.
And to me, it's nauseating. It's absolutely nauseating, because
multiple mental health clinicians said that Derek had limited intellectual ability and was not capable of consenting.